Hello, I didn't need all those adjectives.
You always do. It's
Okay,
important.
I see how it is.
It's necessary.
We have a pretty good game for you. We should be getting into it rather quickly. Apologies for the technical difficulties, but everything's hopefully fixed now.
Woo! Just to quickly get into map mode before, well, I suppose we can talk about the first one. Probably we have enough time for that. But yes, Plan Blitz, Mako Mart is where we are starting today. And that will be, yeah, definitely. Mako Mart is always a nice map, I would say. I like Mako Mart. But Clan Blitz is something else entirely.
Definitely. It's yeah. One of those maps. It can very easily, the number go down very quickly.
Yes, yes.
Because all the clans are very near the basket on this.
Because the map is so, like, short and
Small
tight. Yeah.
and thin.
Yeah, you're never that far from the basket regardless, but neither is your enemy.
True.
Talking about that, the two teams that we have here, Conductor, We Have a Problem, and Hive Mind, are definitely, I do believe that Conductor, We Have a Problem are probably not liking that this will be their first set of the day. But, you know, it be like that. And they are Zune, Wober, Octosmic, and Z34.
And then for Hive Mind, we've got Crystal, Halo, Johnny, and that SRP2 dude. Which, yeah, it's a David and Goliath situation, and it's gonna be fun.
Problem, but I believe in their ability to just go for it, you know? As you were saying, David and Goliath, that story did not end the way you would think it would going into it, so you never know. You never know.
You never know. Upsets do happen.
Absolutely. Also important to note, the format of today is groups, then into top four, then finals. So this is to decide, we have two groups, A and B. This is to decide who is going into the finals. It'll be the top two from each group. So it's very much not these, let's just say these teams, it doesn't mean whoever loses is not playing more. So just important to note as we get into this.
Getting straight into this first game.
Set. Okay. Interesting. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Do you like to see the Nautilus alongside Snipe Rider there coming out from Conductor?
Crystal with the base machine. He's interesting, especially on this map where they're so thin. I wouldn't have expected Booyah here for the special.
Yes.
Or maybe
I get what
the fizzy spam.
True. Fizzy spam can definitely do a lot. And also, funny you mentioned the machine. It's definitely your weapon of all time.
It is.
And of course, dude, on that gal, constantly looking to try and make the most of that.
Kraken. Yeah, not quite able to get anything there.
So definitely sending the team running. There's that Booyah bomb.
I see, yeah, Booyah bomb they're using it to space them out from the objective, because it's such a close map, with a height advantage on defense.
Yeah, so definitely that can help give them a little bit more room when they're trying to get the most out of these pushes. So, yeah, Conductor definitely have a little bit more leeway here, since Hive Mind did end up taking some casualties for that push there, but they are still all sitting here ready to defend. But we see the damper coming in, causing chaos, making them push forward.
Lovely double there on the side of Conductor even, mixing up my teams.
But yes, not able to get lead with that push though. 77 is not really ideal for a first push. It can be obviously better than just a simple 80, but truly not ideal. So we're just gonna have to, and especially now that Hivemind are in this very advantageous position, ready to push the moment that they have a ball in position.
Conductor here basically being pushed into their spawn, but Hivemind don't have the clams for this just yet.
No.
They have pity that they could use, but they don't really want to lose mid position.
Yes, they don't really want to send someone back and then have it fall apart. But as we're saying that, this is falling apart for Hivemind, as Crystal's the only one left with the power clam still, but who does have to back off with it and still gets taken out, though they are able to recover it. And there's Conductor able to get the lead with another push, but are they? Yes, they are able to put more in.
Able to extend it. This is what we were saying, the number go down. There's a clam like within throwing distance of the basket. Stuff like this does happen, and that's a very strong push. Just immediately.
Yes, indeed, but we know with Hivemind, like, if they get the opportunity, like, a push to beyond 40 is not out of the realm of possibility here. They are very much the kind of team which will take any opportunity you give them and use it to the maximum that they can, so Conductor definitely
But
has to
still, in saying that, it's 2 power clams in the single clam for Hivemind to get the lead, and you do not want to miss! Like,
Oh, they got 1 in though, and that is 3 down. Do you think the only one left in the field for Hivemind is just trying to keep a bit of that mid control, but that is so unfortunate. Oh my goodness. And it does also
really
mean...
what you want to happen.
Yeah, 1 power clam's not going to be enough as well to get lead. Thankfully for Conductor, they were able to do enough with that push that they have enough leeway that it's not just going to take a power clam. But with the last minute here, Hivemind know that they need to get another push, and it can't just be like a use all of your resources.
Yeah, the power clam and 5 small for that to go through. Like, grabbing pity early is a choice.
Oh, but it's in! It's in! The 2 more. And there we go!
That's going to be the lead for Hivemind.
Yep, and they are extending it as far as they can. And with Halo trying to push in here, not able to get much, but still able to kind of put a little bit more pressure on. Conductor know that they need a hell of a lot to get to 23, especially with that penalty. Like that, they're not even through the penalty with a power clam. They need so much more than that.
And the Kraken coming out from Dude is really gonna kind of mess up the push plans here.
Yep. Yes, indeed. They're able to keep it alive.
They're keeping it open through desperation.
Oh! No! What? Oh my god. Okay.
There's no way. Actively no way.
Bro said desperation and he meant it. Okay. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. Conductor,
Dude very much went for the kamikaze play to get the...
Did it work?
To get like a couple of clams in to extend the basket. Meanwhile, their teammates getting pity and just jumping in for dear life.
Yep. Oh, that would have been
actively huge.
Oh, that's one way to start this. For Conductor, we have a problem. Okay, now they just need to win 1 more game out of the next 2. That's what they need here. Given doesn't need to be target control. We as commentators would love for it to be Hagglefish, because that means that we get an extra game. So
yeah, we get an extended time.
And it all coming down to 1 game between these 2 teams. But okay, that definitely does shake it up in a way that I don't think Hivemind was expecting. Because we
I don't think most people were expecting, yeah. Us included.
Okay, alright, fair enough. It's one way to start us out. Conductor, we have a problem.
Coming out this final qualifier swinging, I guess.
Yeah, instead of having a problem, they're making Hivemind take it. Okay, they are now on the back foot coming into Inkblock Art Academy. They know they need to take this game to have a chance at winning this set. They are definitely need to figure this out. But oh my god, I'm just like, oh. Obviously, this is less of a jump in and pray to God type situation. So that is not going to work for them in the same way that what won them the last set. So that is something for Conductor we have a problem to think about.
Is Crystal going to swap from Vanilla Machine? Because GG Booyah is okay, but Zuka is better.
Yeah, if you're able to get the Zuka shots you need. No, we're sticking with it. Both teams know what they're playing and they're committed.
Terribly much range on the side of Hivemind here.
No, and already Halo going down. First player ends up being Halo going down to, I think that was the Sniper Rider. So already Conductor has the entirety of mid to play around in. And they are trying to work up their specials to start this push and maybe get another pick or two. But
that's a Kraken coming in from Dude, and Johnny could potentially pick up the stragglers who are running away.
That can definitely work in their favor with the Kraken causing chaos, but oh my goodness, never mind. That's 2 down for Hivemind. They're definitely on the back foot yet again. Look at that. Look at how orange everything is.
Oh, never mind. Commentator's cars.
Yep, you start talking about it, then it is no longer the truth. But yeah, Dude trying to find their way out of this ramp area here. They need to find another pick or two, but it's very even on both sides. Though Conductor are definitely getting a little bit of an edge here.
Well, sorry, able to get. Nope.
No.
Gets out, and that first checkpoint for Conductor here.
Yep, already through, but there is that Zuka able to get a pick off the tar. Wobber able to get one with the final part of that, of their. Ooh! Okay.
Halo?
Halo is stuck in the rain, though. So Halo
is going to perish due to the rain.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate. Stuck in a corner. But at the moment, this is very back and forth. Finally, Hivemind has
that's
a very
destroyed the tower, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Alright. Hope you weren't thirsty. Oh my god.
Dude coming in here with the Kraken, albeit slowly.
Yeah, very much. Like if you had the jaws theme happening, it would be a slowed down version for that shimmy up the ramp. But at the moment, Conductor very much now kind of needing to. They've lost that lead, which is.
Who just decided, screw it. I'm getting kills. Okay, bud. Guess the triple. Cleaned up for the wipe.
So that works. This is turning into a very different game from how it began. It's just Conductor not able to get Hivemind out. And especially, like, dude, the survivability of the Kraken, the constant pressure, and also that being their range, is just one thing after another.
And then also the wall.
Okay.
And that was very quick.
Yeah,
especially towards the end, it was a lot more scrappy in the beginning, but
yep.
Once they got that wipe, it was just going to keep her lit, keep her going.
Keep on going. Absolutely. All they needed was a bit of momentum, and then Conductor could not crack through that. They could not get back to the objective or just get people out of their spawn. So that was a much quicker game there we saw, which does definitely take us to Hagglefish Market, which is exactly what we were looking for. I do not believe that was what Conductor we have a problem we're hoping. But with Splat Sims, they're going to have to be very careful because it will not take much. If they get wiped, like, it will be such a struggle to get back in. They need to keep that in mind with their choices here. I don't think they're going to change anything, but it is very important to make sure that they can have something to go in with.
Yeah, there isn't going to be much change here. They're Conductor probably going to use Pen, just easy cover of zone.
Yeah. And the rain clouds on the non-list makes a lot of sense as well. So I'd imagine that's going to stay, and you can still kind of scatter people with a damper rushing around the back line. So, yeah, no, it makes sense. But the thing to keep in mind is that Hivemind doesn't have a back line. And they've decided, no, we aren't partaking in that. So it's not really something that can kind of be done to them. Like, they're not shaking up the back line with that stamper in the same way that you might do with other teams. So yeah, but still helpful. Very helpful to be able to target whoever.
Composition wise, there's definitely balances in each team. There's no one's got like quite the like quote unquote perfect ideal 20xx type bullshit. Like,
yes, there is some.
But you work with what you can do and just kind of carry on.
Yeah. Yep. And let's see kind of what we're gonna have. Yeah, that's to be expected. Makes a lot of sense for both these teams. And yeah,
we'll say the Conductor here do have quite a wee bit more paint.
Yes, they do.
And we see that in stride immediately as they get zone first go.
Yep. Which, that's the thing. If it's a straight fight for paint coverage, 100% Conductor will win every time. But if it's trying to stay alive,
the trade, okay.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. But yeah, if it's killing potential, you're always going to have... Hivemind does have that on you, but oh my goodness, Wubber.
Or just deciding, nah, screw this wall, I don't need it.
No, we can go straight through your wall. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, very back and forth at the beginning, but this is what I was kind of worrying when it came to Conductor. This situation, they will struggle to get back in from. But that being said, Hivemind is backing off to a certain extent, and I suppose whenever Octosmic, still cannot say that consistently, Octosmic has that extra range, you can always kind of bet that that's going to be a bit of an issue. Okay.
Going for the cheeky kill, but yeah, unfortunately.
Oh!
Dude, slithering in, okay.
Oh, that was so, like, perfectly timed to just, like, Kraken jumping, dashing out from the side. Like, important to note that there was a moment there where there were two down on Hivemind, and it still did not really go in Conductor's favor there.
And you just said, no, this is our backline, actually.
Our backline. To be fair, when he's not a Kraken, I would not call Kraken backline ever. But yeah, they're definitely keeping up with this team.
What do you mean? It's so, like, far range.
Yeah.
I say, lying.
Massively. But yeah, this is... Conductor, they have the paint, but they can't stay consistently in, right?
No. They're able to get it because of tri-strikes, but not sustain it in any way, shape, or form. And
dude is constantly on that Kraken, just causing some struggles.
They're chasing him down, but they're not. Dude gets out of there somehow.
Yeah, and also in all that, the zone flipped back on over, and finally Conductor are through those penalty points and working again. But whenever you look at the 18 they have to reach, this is so not looking like a fun time for Conductor. Nope.
As we see.
Oh, wait, never mind. This is a lot more fun whenever they get a
Crystal
delayed wipe on Hive
simply
Mind.
cannot stop trading with this sword.
Yeah, definitely having a fun time there. Is that a Kraken I see coming out from Dune? What a
I could see
surprise!
Crystal hitting the booyah here and just neutralizing zone. As there you go.
Yep, but they
Or
did.
he's
They
trying
only
to neutralize
neutralized.
zone.
They only neutralized that 3 times. Guys.
No.
It's not enough. They're trying. Halo trying to find a pick, but the sword.
And at this point, it's too little, too late. I'm pretty sure.
Guys, they can't paint. They can't paint enough. What the frick?
As I said, Conductor has more paint. In a paint battle, they're gonna win. And that's 2-1 to Conductor.
Oh my god.
So what we said at the start of the match, that was a joke. We didn't mean any of that. I guess David wins sometimes, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that is the way the story goes. You're not wrong. We did specifically, state that. The brain goes, what? What? Okay. Also, important to note, I've just seen Connor mention in chat that all of the sets went to a Game 3. Oh my, I don't think I've ever seen that. That's incredible. Okay, alright, we've already had an upset round 1. All the sets have gone to Game 3. This is the first part of groups.
Yep.
This is round 1 of groups, guys. What?
It's like,
Everyone's
chill.
fighting.
Leave some stuff for the other casters, please.
Oh my god. Okay, well, with that in mind, we're gonna go to a short break as we continue to just be like, oh my god. We will be back real soon. Don't be going anywhere, because this is how the tournament's beginning. What? See you guys shortly.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're back from our wee break. Got some water.
Hydration.
Had a panic. It was good.
Yeah.
We've got some lovely video games for you.
Oh my god, guys, video games in my Twitch stream. Absolutely. Oh, never could have seen this going.
We have Distinct versus Grug coming up.
So we're...
Distinct is, for people who have seen all of the Splat graphics, are the team that just came second a whole bunch of times. And these motherfuckers are hungry.
Yes, they have been, let's just say, around, and through a lot through these.
They're very much like New Age baggage and Red West.
They are
the team that keeps coming second, but eventually they get their day and then it's cancelled because of COVID.
Well, we hope that does not happen to them. But
no.
important to note that is kind of the vibes going into this. So they are playing against Grug, who have Distinct first round had a bye because their group only has three teams in it. And so going into this round 2, they are against the team that just beat the other team. So Grog have beaten Blixbruder, which does mean they're kind of riding a bit of a high here.
They're hot off the presses.
Yes, and Distinct has not been playing yet. So important to note that going into this first game of the set on Manta Maria and Rainmaker.
Manta Maria Rainmaker, very good map.
Yeah.
I'm going to imagine it's going to be a bit more normalized. We're going to see a bunch more Zukas.
Yeah, last set
Probably
was like
a bucket
one
of some kind, because Manta is a very vertical map.
Yes, 100%. That would make a lot of sense. And also, you've got to be ready for that defense. You do not want to get the point where the enemy team has made it through that street. So a bucket able to slosh over all those walls and ledges on street is very, very helpful for that, either on defense or offense. So it would make a lot of sense. And yes, also, obviously, we expect tacticalers. You know.
Oh yeah.
We live in a meta.
You cannot drink the seawater.
Do not drink
A cooler will suffice.
Yes, the seawater will make you more thirsty and maybe die. So stick to the drinks that you can get that way. So yeah, going into this, I suppose Rug just kind of raring to go. Oh, also important to note, we should go through Afro, Mooj, Tame, Sal / Tiger. And yeah, definitely like
I
one
want
of
to
those.
reread that. Because unfortunately your mic cut out there, sorry.
Oh god, okay.
Yeah. So on Distinct you have Afro, Mooj, Tame, and Sal, or Tiger, as they sometimes go by. And then on Grug you have Narco, Rai, Akira, and Revo.
Yes, definitely players we've seen around in I've definitely seen them play in UK events before, even like Splat Vibes and stuff. So those players are definitely very up there, but I don't know if I've seen them as much played together. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
Distinct, yes.
Yes, Distinct definitely, but Grug
definitely. I haven't seen Grug so much.
Yeah. So interesting to note that go. But let's see, round 2. Okay, I see a bow coming out from Distinct, and there's the brush we expect. But those weapons, Grug, as a composition, that is commitment to the short.
Commitment to the bit.
Yeah.
Bow on backline.
Yeah. But Bo's dead, so
everyone's dead actually.
Akira. What?
We said Distinct were hungry. I guess Grug too?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yes. Yes. What the frick? Okay, so this is chaos. There's
Immediately
still...
from the jump.
Everyone's dying, both sides. It is just insane. Distinct, trying to get that out of here, but weren't able to stop Grug from grabbing it, and I do believe pushing it a little bit more, but 2 down again on both sides.
Oh, unfortunately not seeing the jump there, that could have been the full wipe.
Oh, yep. Yes, indeed.
Distinct have reset to mid, but they haven't got control back.
No, they've got practically no control, except for maybe in this pit area. They're trying to see if they can get some picks. Oh.
Distinct rapidly need to move to their left.
Yes, they do. And I think they're realizing that as the roller comes in, able to stop them from getting any more points. But there is a hammer. What is that?
Can you all slow down? I'm trying to say words.
No, there's no time for it. There's never any time for it. They're already in a 2-down situation on both sides again. But it doesn't last for long. They don't get... Are they going to get the reset? They get the reset. No, they don't get the reset!
No, they don't get the reset!
Oh my god!
I think they just aren't able to get them out of their spawn. There's always at least one left that they can get jumps.
Yeah, and they keep not seeing them, not finding them. They need to reset this, but they're 3 down. This should... Yeah, this
and that's a wipe. That could be game.
It will be. What is happening?
Who lit a fire under the arch of Grug?
The first win. What? That... Okay, we didn't even get the chance to talk about how Grug has no range before it didn't matter and Distinct
They decided
was
it
dead.
didn't matter. The Rainmaker explosion, I guess, is their range?
Or just the Rainmaker in general, right? Like, if it's in their hands, they've got range. But okay. Right? We hear you, Grug. We hear that you're done, with this set already. But you've got at least one more game to play. Oh my god, Distinct. They've been chilling. But, that might have been to their detriment. Oh my god. So, okay. Game 2. Crab-like capital Splat zones.
Yeah, I don't know if the short-range comp is going to work as well for Grug here.
Yeah, well, right. It could do if they are able to, like, just keep those wipes going.
I
Because
guess
if you're
brush over the grates if they're not spotted.
Also important to note, if Distinct get this, then they're moving on to Glam Blades with a very adept brush on the enemy team. So that is going to be a struggle regardless. But they need to get to that point to have a chance at taking this first game. But okay. Alright. So, yeah. I think... Right, the way that Grug has to be playing this, if they're sticking the same, if they're continuing with this aggressive, like, when I say aggressive, I mean aggressive comp here, is that they need to infinitely just be in Distinct spawn. Like, if they keep the fight there, then no one
They
can
need to
get
fight
the
in front of the zone, not in it.
Yeah. So that means completely, like obviously covering the zone and then just ignoring it for as long as you can. Because if you get in the way of Distinct, then they can't get to the zone. They might have some specials they can throw at it, but you've got a brush. The brush can go in and fight stuff, see that stuff's happening behind them, zoom back, paint, zoom back round. But Distinct here needs something that can, like, they need a more, I'd imagine, defensive kind of, like, stance of some kind, where they can take a battering from these kind of weapons, but stay alive. They need survivability here. So I'm not sure what that looks like for them, if they're changing at all.
I don't know specifically how Roller is going to come into play with this. I guess Ninja Squid and be really sneaky.
But if you're
that's
stuck
easier
in
said than
spawn,
done.
then that's not really what you need. unless they're able to counteract this in like a not a comp way but a strategy way, I don't.
Yeah.
And this is coming from me, but I don't think the roller is going to do them much favors. Like
unless it's a case of ledge camping in front of spawn.
Perhaps, but they need to kind of get forward for that, and especially with the grading on the top left, like a roller is useless there. You're kind of just stuck. So, hold on.
Never mind. It's Splatoon Zumami. Roller's great here.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Ignore everything we just said.
Discussion. Not important.
Still zones. Okay. So
yeah,
the same strategies apply.
Yeah, hopefully
you have like the top sniping domes, which the bow will love, but the shorter comp, it's a case of how fast can the brush zip around it before anything can be done about it.
Yes, and you got to keep in mind with Umami that is 2 zones instead of 1. So having the short range comp means that you've got to go further to paint them, and you can't just like zoom through and then be like, oh yeah, it's fine. If you have to have both. So that does definitely change things to a certain degree. They will want to keep this fight like it's still to a certain degree. Grug wants to keep this fight still in distinct spawn, or even just at the corner bit as they come in that ramp. But we'll see how this plays out and if we've made any changes.
We seem to be switched.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So interesting. It does mean they have an inkjet. Hello, Akira.
I see the strat. They have an inkjet.
It's not working.
It's not working, but the strat is they have an inkjet and the other team has a short range comp.
Yeah. No, that will work. And there we go. Already there we see that inkjet up on the height, pushing Grug
as we see here.
Back. Now the only thing that can reach them is that a wiper there, or a stamper even, but never mind. Once you're back on the ground, you are very much an open possibility. But okay, we see Rambo trying to find their way back in, but the bow
the bow deciding no, actually, sorry, you're not allowed to do that.
Yes. Also, the other thing to keep in mind is I forgot about that. The wall. That wall is very helpful for this kind of dealing with this kind of comp.
Brush can't run through a wall. Fun fact.
Yes. So that's definitely helpful. But already we're seeing them back off because in comes Olive Grug. But that has not worked quite in their favor in the way they were looking for it, because they do end up taking some casualties at the same time.
Yeah, Rise just kind of clearing up a bit.
Yeah.
The Cavitator has always been a strong weapon.
Yeah.
And Rise is using it greatly.
But as we're seeing here, they're still in this kind of neutral part right here. Grug trying to keep the fight as much, and trying to, get a hold of these zones. There we finally go. And now able to finally try and push up, especially with 2 players being down. Getting into position to try and use it once they have it. Here comes the inkjet. Needs to take some casualties here. And there's 1. There's 2.
Can they get the hammer?
There's 3.
Just right left, the last bastion.
And will not be able to keep that, obviously, on their own. They're still alive, though, but being pushed massively into that pit area, which is not ideal in the slightest. Tiger trying to keep the aggression up and keep back Grug for as long as possible, but we see the Zipcaster. Rye has gone past and is causing chaos, trying to get as much as possible, but not quite.
The Cavitator could just do what does best, getting kills. Not getting zone, unfortunately, as much, but if you can thin out the herd, then you can do.
A lot happening all at once. Marco trying to keep their teammates safe here as they're jumping. Able to get that zone, not for as long as they would have liked. The joy of that junior is that is their pain. But oh no! Oh,
no,
dear.
that's not what you want to happen.
That's an RIP to the hammer. But they're working on those points. They're getting through them. And yet again, trying to keep that fight in their spawn. That's the way to keep that zone.
They're a hyper-aggressive team with a short-range comp. You need to really hammer in, but the inkjet does come out. Can it find...
Revo?
It finds one.
Yes, only able to find one though, and but
that's
this
enough to at least pauses them.
Yep. Yes, and there's the T-Cab starting to do even more pressure, and with the jumps will get the other zone for you. But there's still players behind them, which has definitely taken out the bow, which does split their focus, meaning they're not going to keep this zone for long. Yeah, we can see...
They got out of their spawn as well. They managed a full retake.
Yeah, and I do believe a lot of that was to... So...
Is definitely going to be strong here. They've got two specials waiting and ready to go. This inkjet can get a few kills then.
That will make a lot of difference. Akira able to push him with a hammer. Oh! Got a double!
Oh, the roller! the triple! Fortunately not spotting right, and the jump does come in.
But okay, right?
Will that be a...
Well,
it goes to overtime.
Yep, the roller's the only one alive here. That was such a good pick from them, but they need to get back in.
Distinct here don't have any really have any clutch specials. One of them goes down.
Yeah, the special they need is dead. So this is very much, are they going to throw it away at the last second? They need this! Afro! Why are you pushing it alone? Oh god, this is falling apart.
It was looking so promising right at the very end there.
Oh no! Oh gosh. Well, that will mean
that will be Grug 2-0.
Yeah, that was looking so like
I'm not incorrect. Grug are guaranteed to go through.
Yes, I do believe so. Distinct are just going to have to beat. Was it Blake Spooner? And then they will, but their seeding is so not going to be advantageous. So that is actually thinking about seeding. That would probably put them against whoever the top seed of the other group is, which is not ideal. But okay, Greg. Yeah, it looked like Distinct was going to be able to take that back. They were doing so much.
It very much just fell apart at the end.
But yeah, but it just did not happen. It does also mean we're not going to be going to Barnacle and Dime. Important to note, and I feel like we should have mentioned this earlier, but I kind of forgot that it's not normally this mode, but Umami does tend to be a bit of a sore spot for Distinct. So interesting that continues a little bit. It's more Umami clans, but Umami is still playing a role, let's just say, in stuff not going quite right for them. But yeah, that is not ideal for Distinct, but does for Grug mean that they're done with their group run. They don't need to play anyone else, and they are definitely through to the finals, or at least the semis. Semis is what I mean. So yeah, interesting to note. But we are going to go to a short break as we set up for our final round of groups. So don't be going anywhere. We'll be back really soon once we have everyone in and settled. But yeah, see you then. but we wanted to see this set specifically because this set decides which of these two teams goes through to or goes beyond groups. So one of these teams is going into semis,
and one of them very much is not.
Yes. So just thought that might be a little bit more appropriate. But oh my god. Okay, Retroma Paradise, we have not seen them yet. Versus Conductor, we have a problem, who we did see first set.
We do not have like very much pre-information about Conductor. We have quite a bit on Retroma because they've been in all of the Splat pursuits so far, and they've been top 4 every single time.
Yes. Also important to note that they have not been having the most fun time against Distinct in those top 4s. They have lost the semi-finals to Distinct twice now, but with the way that things are going, it's possible that Distinct might not even be in the semi-finals if they're not able to win against Blake Spritter. So everything's still very much up in the air, and Retroma would need to win this to get to said semis. We also saw Conductor very like they took it to a game 3 against Hivemind and were able to take this. So very much these two teams are fighting tooth and nail here. So yeah, it's coming time to this. Oh my goodness. Okay. Also to note, these two teams, let's see. So obviously we saw Conductor earlier, which is Zune, Wobber, Octosmic, and Z34. They very much have a very paint-heavy comp with the addition of the Stamper to get in behind the other team. That's kind of what we've been seeing from them with the Snipe Rider and the Nautilus. And then Retroma, do you want to talk about Retroma, Spin?
Oh, I very much can talk about Retroma. That is Jason acing Hyperstar at Harry. It's... oh boy. They're a team, obviously, as I said before, that we've seen quite a bit. They're a consistent enjoyer of the semi-final. And yeah, acing very much known for their controversial playstyle, we'll say.
Has anyone seen a Luna Blaster? Because acing always has. It's in his hands.
I've not seen a Luna Blaster.
Yeah. I would find it quite interesting to see the matchup between Retroma and specifically Grug. I feel like that would be fun, having the Brush versus the Luna situation, but we'd have to wait and see if they...
potentially in the semis.
Yes, actually, if Retroma win this, then that's probably... no, that will be who they'll be fighting in the semis, because of how seeding works. So that is definitely a matchup I'm interested in seeing, but I also wonder how Conductor would fare against the sheer aggression that Grug is bringing to the table. Both very interesting matchups, but before we can get to that, we need to look at this round and this matchup. So, Mako Mart, Splat Zones. We talked about how Mako is so small. And
it's
guess
so
what?
small. You know what's
small.
You know what weapon likes small maps? Goddamn Luna Blaster!
Luna! Yes.
Magamart acing's sitting there like rubbing his hands together like I know exactly which ledges I'm going to be under and there's nothing you can do about it. It's from experience absolutely beautiful to use Luna.
Yes.
Or just any blaster for this.
When the ledges are at the perfect height for those more short-range blasters, you can do so much work with them. As a roller, I would know it's the same kind of beauty in just holding a ledge and saying, no, you don't get to come over here. This is my ledge. If you do want to, I'll send you back to spawn. But, No ledge. No ledge.
This is my ledge. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Yes, sorry, you can't have it. Got here first. But yeah, so this is definitely something that Conductor, we have a problem, are going to have to keep in mind, because they are definitely going to need to find a way to stop acing from doing acing things.
The way you stop acing from acing things is you hard call them as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. The more time acing spends in spawn, the less time you have to deal with him. So keep that in mind, Conductor. But yes, these are team comps to be expected. The bucket also works well on Mako, so makes a lot of sense why.
Both incredibly heavy paint comps. This is what you want to see for Splatoon.
Yep. Yes, indeed. So we're Troma taking this first and getting rid of the Scamper very quickly.
Oh. That was not a fight I thought Jason was going to win just because of peak advantage.
And yet...
Jason pulls it off, fair play.
Yep, Jason's having a fun time
Jason's
here.
on a mission, apparently, okay.
Yep, and it's going well, folks. It's going well. Not so much for Conductor, though.
Damn.
Yeah. Conductor able to take a page out of Grog's book and go, if you can't see the zone, you can't paint the zone. So the Wobber is at the back where no one else is at the moment, trying to get a pick but not able to get one, but able to turn Retroma around and back.
I see acing with the hammer, dude.
Never mind.
No.
Never mind. Oh, well, I didn't notice.
Maybe might have some kind of comeback if they had a bit more paint, but
no, they weren't able to get.
That was a pretty convincing game for Retroma.
All right, game one. Okay. Fair enough. No, okay, here we go. Retroma.
Jason just kind of went on a mission there and just decided the map was his, actually.
It was also quite funny.
You've been getting the fist bump to prove it.
It was quite funny indeed that going into that set, we never actually focused on acing. It was all Jason.
It was all just...
Jason was in the... not Jason. Acing was in the background. You could see the hammer from a distance. But we never...
See, that's what Retroma wants you to believe. They want you to believe acing's the threat.
Yeah. We don't focus on acing. He's behind you. The place he wants to be. Causing chaos. Alright,
that was a very convincing game for Retroma, and we've got another very fun map mode combo. The Scorch Core Clam Blitz.
Yeah, yes indeed. Okay, so that is Conductor definitely having an issue, having a problem, having to figure this out. So yeah, they need to deal with acing, keep Jason back, and kind of they need a bit more of a wall between them and all the aggression that Retroma will be throwing at them. But the difference here is that Retroma also has a solid backline where the likes of Hivemind did not, so they also have that stability that it's more difficult to wipe them, right? So yeah, all of that in mind does position Retroma in such a strong place going into this, and especially with that hammer from acing as a kind of like approaching tool, Retroma definitely set up to make pushes with clams going into this.
It's a case of, yes, especially on that sniping area, Luna can hit up there, but on the converse of that, you've got the top right for each map, which you can very easily get picked off at long range for the entirety of that position.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Okay, we're seeing, for the first time, Conductor making a big change, because that's not a Snipe Rider anymore, that's a Squiffer, and also we have a hammer of their own coming out from the Wiper, so very much making choices, and acing's already dead, that's 2 down, but on the Conductor's side, oh!
imprisoning me all the time. No,
Jason,
get
got your
immediate just bloodbath. They're going to use this tri-strike to maybe push them out. Dodges the hammer.
Both ends ups currently.
Jason, you need to pick a target here and hit one of them.
Yep.
Unfortunately, does not get anything from that.
Nope, not the way he was looking for, and that is I will say as well, we weren't even past the 4-minute mark, and already there is a push that has happened, and the basket is closed. So that was very quick coming out from Retroma Paradise. Retroma are on their back foot on this kind of like left side, but that is changing quickly. That is 3 down. Z34 able to get out, but they've given up the entirety of mid, and all of them need to get back to on the defense, and that is not looking helpful for them right now.
Not what you want to see.
No.
Once again, using these tri-strikes to push people out towards spawn. Asen gets the busy kill.
Asen gets another one, and he gets a third! Oh my god, just has to get rid of that hammer so we can actually put some clams in. Bro's like, okay, I'm done, let me go back, get me some pain, give me another hammer. But yeah, so, Retroma's pushed to 29. Make that 17.
11, 5.
Oh god, Asen's the last alive. He's
good.
got the clams for it.
Asen, buddy. Asen.
He's got the clams!
That's illegal. You can't do that. No. Retroma. Are you going to do a push with the line of a non-charged fizzy bomb? Like, what?
And then live long enough to put in those 2 clams, which are the only 2 clams you have, surrounded by the entirety of Conductor. We have a problem. What do you mean, Asen? What do you mean?
I guess Retroma just really wanted another semi-finals.
Yep, they are continuing the trend. They are going to semis, and they were not waiting around for it. Important to note, if that had have gone to round 3, it would have been on target control, which, it's a Luna blaster. It's a blaster. There's a bucket. You're gonna struggle against that on target control. So, yeah. Okay. Alright. I was not expecting it. I was like, okay, yeah, that's okay. Conductor's gonna have another chance to push. No! None of that. We don't have that here. Absolutely not. God. Brain just burr. Okay. Yeah, right. Well, with that in mind, groups are done. Or almost done.
At least on stream, yeah.
Yeah, almost done. If I look over... there's still a couple games still going on, if that is to be... Yep, still a couple games going on. Yeah. So, Aldi Appreciators and Little Lovers, top of Group B, are currently fighting Hivemind. Their Aldi Appreciators are already through, so this is very much just to find out whether or not they get 3 wins in a row. Blake Spruder versus Distinct is still ongoing. That is another fight to see who gets through to the final, or the semis. So, very much that will be interesting to see what's happening with that. But both those still ongoing. And yeah, important to note, we are going to be switching out. This is the end of our commentated block. It was a lot of fun. A lot of things happened that I was not expecting.
I don't think anyone was suspecting. This has been a tournament of twists and turns so far.
Yes, indeed. Very much. What the frick? But
you're just at the score report.
Yes, indeed. Update on that. Distinct are through, and Blake Spritter are not going to be seeing the semis. So that does mean that Aldi Appreciators and Little Lovers are going to be going up against Distinct in their semis, and then Retroma will be fighting Grug in theirs. So, important to note, that's where that's going. But yeah, as the Aldi Appreciators and Hive Mind set continues to go, we should be kind of saying our goodbyes as we're switching over. So, Spin, where can the good people find you?
They can find me sometimes on Twitter.
Oh my god.
The hell site that it is. At It's Spid with 2 S's. It's ITS and then Spid.
The capitalization does make that helpful.
It does.
Really helps the readability. But yes, you can find me on at SPL Zarny on Twitter, where the odd time I'll be talking. And also at Zarny on Twitch. Taking a little bit of a break, but I will be back in October with more fun times and lots of different games. Not just Splatoon, but also Splatoon is part of that. So, yeah. Thank you everyone for having us. This has been insane. So, yeah, do not be going anywhere, because the semis and the finals are coming up next. And if this is anything to go by, these teams are fighting tooth and nail. There is 1 spot left. And there's now 4 teams left to fight for it.
That are all very hungry, because this is the last qualifier before the finals.
In November. Oh my god. But yes, the pursuit is coming to its end, and Legacy is just around the corner. So absolutely thanks for having us, and yeah.
Bye-bye.
Stick around, folks. Bye.
And welcome back! We got the group stage and Spore. I believe that was an incredible group stage to watch so many upsets. And now we only have 4 teams left.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was, like, from the TOing side of things, we were watching all of the games happening, and my word, there was so many unexpected results throughout that bracket, especially, but, like, these 4 teams that we've got here, like, with how much of a gauntlet that group stage was, they're absolutely the best 4 teams in this tournament right now. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be jumping straight into the our first semi-final match. We'll be streaming both the semis and then streaming the grand finals. But for our first semi-finals match, we're seeing 2 teams that we've seen a little bit on stream so far, but haven't really like talked about too much. We're seeing Distinct versus Aldi Appreciators and Little Lovers. So yeah. Do you want to talk about these? Do you want to talk a little bit about these teams, Pat?
I mean, let's start with Distinct. Distinct has been the finalist of Splat Pursuit number 1, and they've been the finalist of Splat Pursuit number 2. Except there's only 1 spot every Splat Pursuit, and they've gotten second twice now. And if they win this one, they have a chance to get second a 3rd time. So there's a lot at stake for them.
Yeah, if they make it through the set, they've got a chance at finally qualifying for Splat Pursuit. Obviously, the first Splat Pursuit, they were taken out by Infrared, and in the second Splat Pursuit, they were slain by Yours Mammothly, which is the team that I'm playing with. So I have quite a bit of personal experience playing against this team in these events. Obviously, like, they've been sticking with pretty much the same comp for all of their matches. Tri-Stringer, like Splash or 52, or sometimes even a Charcoal Decapitator, Afro King on that splatter shot, and last but not least Tiger on that roller. Really interesting comp. I think especially at the moment, there's been a lot of like for a long time now. There's been a really big emphasis on like cooler, like you've got to run a pencil, you've got to run a zap. But Distinct is trying to be distinctive. Pardon the pun, from other teams by running a cooler strategy. It revolves a lot around like having strong specials, good chip damage, but on the other side of it, we've got a bit of a different style from Aldi and Little Lovers. Conroe, honestly, Aldi and Little Lovers, like as someone who's been in the UK scene for a long time, I really like this team. There are so many like three of the names on this team: Mr. Leo, Conroe, and the Mole. I've been seeing like around in the scene for an absolute eons, and seeing them still playing, still performing among the best of the players in the United Kingdom is honestly really inspiring to see.
Yeah, they've been here forever. They're the ancient ones, and they got on top of their group. They didn't win every set in their group. That was a crazy group to watch, but they came out on top of that monster group that they were in, creating lots of upsets in the process. Right there, yeah. I mean, it's very much two teams that are incredibly interesting to watch. Both distinct with, as we said, their very distinct way to play, and the Aldi and Lidl lovers to really bring back experience. They've played everything. They've been here since at least like the start of Splatoon 2, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, funnily enough, when I was getting into competitive, the main team that I sort of followed was Anxiety Sirens all the way back. Obviously, that was Conroe's team from that time period. Probably one of the most, I'd say one of the most iconic EU teams in general. Just because of how much they put themselves out there, the content that they made, and the level of that content. But those days are long gone. We're in Splatoon 3 now, and to remind us of that fact, we're playing a Splatoon 3 exclusive map mode combination, Museum d'Alfonsino Clan Blitz. So, how it will work for these semi-finals is it will be game one, it will be a preset map on either zones or Clan Blitz, and then every other game is going to be a counter pick. So these teams now have the opportunity to try and strategize against one another, and try to sort of suss out what maps they might be able to more easily win on compared to like some of the other maps. Mm-hmm. But for this first set, it is Clan Blitz Museum d'Alfonsino. How do you think these two teams will stack up on this map, Pat?
I mean, this thing they're going to bring the tent, they're going to bring the roller, they will try to put themselves forward and activate all their shields. So they can simply occupy the space. Aldi and Lidl, not sure. They have a lot of different things they can do with their roster. I really want to see what they will bring. They know what Distinct is running because Distinct has been very consistent with what they do. So do they adapt to it? Do they bring something we'd expect, something we'd see in a usual team? I don't really know what they're gonna bring.
Yeah, so Aldi Appreciators and Little Lovers, like they've been running like they've had like a bit less of a consistent comp. I think there's been some switching around, especially by the Mole. But generally they've been running a composition of heavy edit or heavy edit nouveau, but generally sticking to that cooler heavy edit. Not a weapon that we tend to see all that much, but they've got that backline player, Sail. I didn't mention them earlier because they're not a member of the old guard. They're very much a new player, up and coming. Previously on Ultra Krill, I believe. But they'll be pumping out coolers, and the rest of their team is like very interesting mixture of ranges. Mr. Leo is a Splash Pro player in Splatoon 2. They played Capo. In Splatoon 3, they play Forge. So you've already got these two kind of like mid-long range weapons that you really just don't want to be standing in the way of. And then even if you try to get out of their way, you've got like Mole painting everything, and Conroe is just ready to. As soon as Conroe finds any opportunity to get a pick, he'll just take it. That's one of the things I like the most about how he plays. Mm-hmm. Just generally, he's like very aggressive player. Unfortunately, I think Museum might be a little bit of a tricky map. It's just pushing up onto the plat might prove difficult, but Cobra's got a nice inkjet. So I'm reckoning they might be able to make some good use of that. Distinct, as you say, I think they're going to be trying to play this a lot more aggressively. They've got a wider variety of ranges available in their composition, and they've also got a nice mixture of, like, I'd say a lot of their weapons are more just self-sufficient, really. They've got, the shot's got more, like, paint up the map if it needs to. The roller's just sneaking around. Tame is a bit of a wild card. Like, sometimes they're running roller, sometimes they're not roller, decavs. Sometimes they're running Splash or 52, so they've got some flexibility in that. So I reckon they'll probably be able to pull out the crab here, because crab on mid on this map is absolutely insane.
It's good both to push and to defend. If you have a crab on your platform, the opponent needs to leave and stop scoring clams. If you have a crab on mid, you have control of both platforms pretty much, and you can do whatever you want with the map.
Yeah, you can do basically whatever you want. I think if you've got a map where you can do basically whatever you want, if you're a roller player, you love hearing that. You love knowing that fact, right? Like, but before we do any more speculation, we're getting straight into game one here. Clan Blitz Museum d'Alfonsino, Distinct in blue and Albion. Sorry, Distinct in the yellow. No, Distinct are in the blue. Okay,
blue, yeah.
They're the opposite colours on the stream. I was getting a bit confused, but yeah, we're getting straight into it here.
Yeah, Aldi and Little Lovers are bringing both a Virginia Tri-Slasher combo. That's a lot of short-range fighting, and that's going to allow them to get lots of paint control. Ooh, the bomb getting through on the wall right at the opening.
Yeah, Chocolate the Cavitator often likes to use that splash roll to try and set up a little bit of control. Unfortunately, when you're playing against a Juno, you've got to be really wary of those splat bombs. As Distinct, finally, well, not finally, they're just slowly but surely being pushed back. Cool is out for Aldi and Little Lovers, but nice super from Afro is able to take two out, and we should be seeing a Distinct push here, able to get another nice pick onto sale. They've got a power clam ready, but they're not quite in the position yet to be able to use it, but with another pick onto the plat, it's looking like this might be Distinct's time to shine.
The team going in, allowing the ball to be scored right now, but that's all that's going to be scored. Everybody has to go back. Distinct able to... I said Distinct. Aldi and Little Lovers able to simply defend well enough and push Distinct away.
Yeah, Aldi and Little Lovers were able to set up a really strong defense. I think a big part of that was the tactical Distinct. While they have 4 weapons that aren't bound by trying to get as many coolers as possible, it's going to be more difficult for them to sustain those pushes if they don't have that cooler compared to the Aldi and Little Lovers who do. But that's not going to matter too much if you're Mooj and you just get a really nice pick onto Mr. Leo there. Inkjet being popped by Tame. It looks like controller plat is going to flip. Going to flip control towards Distinct, but so one by one they seem to be going down. The bubble has been popped, but they don't really have the power clams. They've got quite a few clams on both the bow and the shot. Bow is going to be able to finally score now as they drop into mid, grab more clams. Afro is going to pop that Zuka. Unfortunately, doesn't quite find a pick, but they've got some control of the play. If going to be able to get another power clam here. Still opting for a close range fight to clear out Afro King. And this should be the end of the push, but unfortunately, Sale getting caught by Mooj is going to ensure that some more clams go in for Distinct. It is just Afro King alive. They are in mid. Mr. Leo is already trying to run in. Not the kind of play that you want to be seeing 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. So Afro gets another really nice pick there.
That Distinct able not only to get the huge points right there, but with one player left standing, Afro defending and making sure that no push happens from Aldi and Little Lovers right after that. And now Distinct, they're holding mid, they're making sure that nobody gets out of that platform, that nobody can do anything into plat. As I say, that shoot down onto Distinct. Looks like Aldi are able to break the dam, go forward and try to pick up some clams. They will have at least some control. Now they need to prepare a big push with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, they need to prepare this push for 2 minutes left to go. But Afro King has got on the flank, has managed to kill one. It is just Tiger left alive, but they're in no but the members of Aldi and Little Lovers are in no position at the moment to try and push on Splat. They do have that Inkjet and Booyah Bomb ready, but it's a little bit risky when they don't have Cooler. Sail is quite close to getting that Cooler, so we will be seeing a push to Booyah Bomb. Will be used to try and clear out the spin. Unfortunately, Kummer will be taken down. And Afro King also being taken down here, but still possibly a push for Aldi and Little Lovers, but they just don't seem to be able to get any sort of footing onto the plat. I say that Mole instantly dropping a bubble onto the plat as Mooch responds with their Whale and Tame. With that Inkjet, it's going to be able to take out Mr. Leo. Counter Inkjet pop by Conroe. Conroe winning the Inkjet 1v1 here, but still Distinct holding this like off the members of Aldi and Little Lovers from the basket right now. Conroe able to find another pick. He's going to be able to get a second pick, and they open the basket.
Oh, with a wipe out right now. Aldi are keeping that basket open, getting more and more and more. Now Distinct needs to defend, need to get the scraps. We get the lead swap off of that single push. 3 players down, but Aldi and Little Lovers, they're happy with that. They're fine with that. They are back in control. In just 25 seconds, suddenly we have a very, very different game score.
We have a really different game indeed, with less than 20 seconds left to go. The members of Distinct need to put a push together. Unfortunately, Tame getting taken down. The Cincinnati team does not have Cool. They're not going to get a jet, but Mooch, fantastic take onto Mr. Leo. Conroe is going to get the catch, but Molly able to clutch up in the end. Sail just clearing out the punt. It is just Tame alive right now. They need to score 5 clams to be able to get this lead. Tame only holding 3, will be held off from the basket, and when it looked like they were about to lose, Aldi appreciators and Little Lovers pulling out game 1 of the set.
And I mean, Conroe created that push that the appreciators got. Conroe got the incredible Inkjet and then simply ran forward on the right side of the platform, getting 2 splats simply to just get in, allowing the team to get the wipeout. And then that crazy defense in the end, not letting Distinct come back in there. Distinct had the clams. They were on the platform right under the basket, but it was not working. It was too late.
Yeah, all the appreciators and Little Lovers, like, despite having their score of, like, being taken down so far by Distinct, able to maintain their composure, and then in the last minute they saw their opportunity. They knew they had to grab it with both hands.
Well, now we're going in counter pick, and it's on Distinct to decide what the next map mode is.
It is, in fact, a counter pick. Of course, I was mentioning that obviously the members of Audio Appreciators, Little Lovers, having quite a bit of experience, but experience from the past is going to help you on one of the newer maps in this game, Robo Ramen Splat Zones. What do you make of this counter pick? Because I'm quite liking this one personally.
I think it's very much a classic, and it's very good for Distinct. Every time I've seen Distinct play there, they were shredding, and especially the bow on here is really, really good, and you cannot underestimate the bow on this map.
Yeah, Bo being quite strong on Robo Ramen has so many really good angles that it can take, and not only that, but a lot of those angles happen to actually be really safe for it as well, so it doesn't need to commit, or take too many risks in order to be able to find those really nice angles. But as you mentioned, Robo Ramen Splat Zone is a bit of a classic map here, definitely good for Distinct, but we'll have to see whether Distinct's thinking is going to be along the right lines here as we jump straight into Game 2.
Yep, it is time. No change in terms of composition. I mean, Aldi, they're not going to change what works, and Distinct, that's how they roll, I guess. So it's time to get onto the zone right now, and it looks like Distinct has a lot of players onto the zone. We have a trade on each side right now. Both teams are trying to get the upper hand. Conroe still waiting for any opportunity. Distinct is going to get the zone early, but Aldi are already still trying to get there with a Booyah Bomb. Ooh, Tame able to get 1, able to get 2 with the Inkjet.
Yeah, Tame getting a really nice double down on Jake. Managing to pick off Mr. Leo as well, immediately from that Booyah Bomb, so they're going to take a little while to charge that back up again. Tame actually holding a really aggressive position here, making sure they don't quite drop. Unfortunately, Fancy Footwork isn't going to be enough to deter Mr. Leo from taking them out here. As the members of Alien Level Ups, they seem to be in a bit of a conundrum. They're waiting for that call to be popped. They've got 4 special on they instantly pop 3 of them. It is just Connor holding their Inkjet. They're really banking on getting out Fire out of their specials. They do manage to get 2 picks, but Tame is going to cut through the traps like butter. As soon as I say that, Connor blasts him in the face.
And that is going to be pretty important, as Distinct already got the zone back. Aldi Lovers not able to really establish themselves. As you said, they used all their specials and they didn't manage to get control.
Yeah, using all the specials. Cooler has already been popped for Aldi Little Lovers again. His members of Distinct seem to be just prepping for their defense. They're all quite close to special here, so if Aldi Little Lovers aren't careful with how they use their resources here, they're going to find it really difficult. They do manage one special trade with the roller hit. It's just Mooch and Afro-King. Afro-King in a very, fairly nice position here, but Connor's Inja is going to be able to flip the zone. Molly looking for a pick on Afro-King on that bottom left. Doesn't really want to drop it, is trying to find a kill with the bombs. Unfortunately, neglecting Mr. Leo as they trade with Tame, but Aldi and Little Lovers slowly but surely finding their footing in this game. So popping the confusion, Cameron going in a little bit too aggressively. Molly forced to use their bubble as 2 members of Aldi Levels go down. Control flips to Distinct, and it's looking like this is going to be a really strong Distinct push.
Yep, Distinct back in control right now. Mr. Leo dodging the shots, able to retreat with the rest of the team, but Tame activating another Inkjet, the bubbler right in time to give the cover to Aldi Little Lovers, and both dodge rolls to simply tank the damage right there. Aldi able to get control back, completely unfazed by that jetpack.
Yeah, earlier we saw Aldi and Little Lovers throwing a lot of specials and not getting much right. Unfortunately, the mole is going to pop bubble. Unfortunately, it's instantly gets shredded. 2 members, 3 members go down. Really nice double from Afro-King. This can result in the zone flipping over to Distinct here. This Tiger's already bubbling really aggressively. Distinct trying to wrestle as much control of this game back as possible, as their penalty is low. Their score not that much higher. They don't have to wait that much time to get that KO. Unfortunately, they just have to try anything, but Combo is going to be taken out. This is getting really dire for Audi and Little Lovers here, Pat.
Very dire indeed. They need to run at the zone right now. There's only 15 ticks left. The big bubbler is deployed, but Tiger able to get a trade right there. Combo above the zone, but you need people to be there to paint. All of Distinct is doing exactly that. They're going to get game number 2. We are now 1-1.
Yeah, we're now on Combo forced to pop Inkjet at the end of that game, because I believe they ran out of ink at the end, being forced to pop Inkjet just to try and paint, but unfortunately, the only way you're painting with Inkjet in that situation is with the blood of your enemies, and unfortunately, Combo wasn't able to find any picks, and Control will be flipping, back to neutral, but it is now the turn of the Aldi Appreciators and the Little Lovers to decide on their next counter pick. So we've seen a couple of games from we've seen like 2 games in the set already, Pat. What do you think a good map for Aldi Appreciators and Little Lovers might be?
I feel like they go with something with a lot of ledges. Make the best out of your conroe. If you have a conroe, like go to a Mako Mart and have that Tri-Slasher absolutely shred.
Yeah, I think like Zone's Mako Mart is probably a really good option for them right now. Clown's Mako Mart might be, but you also have to remember Distinct do have that roller, and if there's one map that I would very much like to play on as a roller player, it would be Mako Mart, even if I have to deal with a Tri-Slasher.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a good point.
There are some other more like ledge heavy maps in this in this map pool so far. This map pool, if you didn't know, was voted on by players within the UK community. So this is what the collective UK community has deemed to be a fine map list. but we still have some nice variety here. I'm honestly wondering if you go for a map where there's not too many ledges, but a map where it's really difficult for the roller to move around. Rainmaker Crab Leg Capital, if you're a roller player, what are you doing to push the Rainmaker, you know? What's the plan there, you know?
Your curling bomb is not very useful anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, that's honestly a pretty good idea.
Yeah, but Conroe decided to think a little bit differently here, deciding to put Inkblot Art Academy Tower Control. Now, this is a classic map pat. Map pat. Sorry, I just realized how that sounded. But anyways, this is I'd say this is a quite classic stage. But do you think it would be a good map for the Aldi appreciators here?
I think we're going to see the inkjets come back on both sides, because this is the inkjet map to me. This is the map where you have these steps onto the platforms when you get into enemy territory, and the inkjet can get you above that and really control that. So both teams are going to want to make the best out of their jetpacks. Both Conroe and Tame should run with that. From then on, it's really a matter of how do you take control, how do you rush into the enemy platform, and a roller that's able to simply run forward and get a lot of damage into these ledges.
Yeah, but we're going to be jumping straight into Game 3 here. Tower Control on Inkblot Art Academy. No comp change from Audi and Little Lovers. And we see a change to 52 Gal Fruitcake, opting to drop that inkjet in favour of more straight-up aggression. Let's see how this plays out for them.
Yeah, more fighting, prevent the... and the fighting is working pretty well, actually. This thing opening incredibly strong, getting a few picks and getting control of that platform already. Afro is not stopping. And with Tame simply going in, getting into that fight, trying to get more. Checkpoint number 1 is broken without an effort, as everybody's busy elsewhere.
Yeah, push is slowly starting to fizzle out here. Members of Distinct got a really strong start going, but as I say, it's about to fizzle out. Tame on the Splat, harassing Sail right now. Mr. Leo, unfortunately, deciding to do a little bit of acrobatics, but Afro is having absolutely none of that. Doesn't want any free touching as Afro, as Conroe is going to be able to catch him out. So far, this has just been a lot of scraps in the mid right now.
Yeah.
Taylor will be able to pick up the kill on the Inkjet and another kill onto Mr. Leo. But right now, neither team is really finding their footing in this neutral. Whale is going to be part of this thing, obviously trying to hope that they can turn this into more of a push. But as they push in, they just get taken out by the members of Audi and Little Lovers.
Yeah, it's the end. Yep.
You see Conroe on the side trying about 2/3 towards his inkjet here, but isn't quite going to be able to get it. It's trying to push a tower, but they're not moving up with the tower so far. If you're moving a tower on a map, especially like Inkblot, you need to be moving alongside it. Conroe opting to try and shoot it. Oh, what a pick onto Afro King.
What a flick by Conroe. And with 2 down, Aldi and Little Lovers are on their way to the second checkpoint. They're going to get the lead, but now the real part of the game starts. The second checkpoint is where you want to get in, and it looks like Aldi and Little Lovers are going to sail through it. Now all the specials are coming. Distinct are able to stop the tower for now, as Conroe is the last standing with the jetpack.
Yeah, Conroe won't be standing for that much longer with the landing on the tower there, but Distinct are able to eventually snuff out this push. But Audi and Little Lovers breaking that all-important second checkpoint. It's going to be really important for them to hold their second checkpoint as Distinct start trying to move this tower. Fortunately, Afro King will be taken out by Mr. Leo on this water, just trying to hold it, but Tame, noticing the bubble, noticing how crowded the members of Aldi and Little Lovers were, is going to pop whale, find a third pick onto Conroe, trying to sneak around them here. and Distinct slowly but surely trying to generate some sort of momentum. It's going to be a bit difficult considering they don't have that cooler compared to Aldi and Lovely Lovers, but with how many picks they're getting on the plat, I don't think the lack of coolers really bothering them that much.
Yeah, and right now Distinct are back on the attack. They get the Splat with the killer whale. They have so much control. They're gonna get through that checkpoint, and now we're about to see a flip in terms of lead. Tame and then Afro are still in that fight in there, and with the big bubbler onto the tower 3. Down it's just Leo left to defend the tower, but the checkpoint number 3 is going to break. The wipeout is happening. Distinct takes the lead in this set.
Yeah, I just want to point out, Tiger got a double with a curling bomb at the end there.
Really?
Like, yeah, Sail and I believe it was the Mole was standing right next to each other, and a really well-placed curling bomb just exploded both of them right at the very end there. If they'd both been able to live, they might have been able to stop that from being a knockout, but masterful culling bomb from Tiger is going to be able to put the members of Distinct in a fairly comfortable position here. You know, it's nice to win 2 games in a row, but it's even nicer to win on the opponent's counterpick. And All the Appreciators and Little Lovers going back to the drawing board here, presumably the one in the middle of Little, and trying to see, like, we're gonna have to see what they decide to opt for here.
Yeah, now they have some thinking to do, and I feel like Distinct's change of comp, where Tame goes to the 52, decided a lot of that game. We saw it in the opening, and we saw it again in the final push. Distinct was simply moving forward, and Tame was getting splat after splat, surviving, dodging everywhere. And that's, I mean, the power of a shooter, especially the 52, that lets you fight everything.
Yeah, when you're playing 52 gal, the world is your oyster. You've got that wall, you've got that really strong, really threatening 2-shot. And you can even paint the floor and like be as aggressive as you want to be with the killer whale at times. So really, really interesting shake-up there from Tame, opting to just like use brute force as opposed to some of the flashier stuff that we tend to see out of weapons like the charcoal decapitator. But Alien Appreciators and Little Lovers still deciding what they want to pick for the game 4 of this set. I still believe the Rainmaker Crableg might be the play. I know Afro King has been doing some really nice work with these Zukas throughout this set, but beyond that, I feel like the members of Distinct, their weapons, might not have as easy of a time pushing up on that map. But we'll have to see. So far, they're taking their time thinking about this.
Yeah, I mean, going onto Crableg would give a lot of range advantage to Mooch with the Tri-Stringer, which could be a trouble, but other than that, if they're able to go through that Tri-Stringer, they have the whole map for them. It's just a matter of making it work then, and also, are they wanting to go back to Clan Blitz or to Rainmaker?
Well, unfortunately they're not able to pick a Clan Blitz map because they've already won on Clan Blitz, but they have decided to pick another Splat Zones map. This time it's going to be Hagglefish. Oh
well, we are at this point in the tournament when we go to Hagglefish zones. Where the teams,
at that point.
Yeah, we're there when the teams are like, oh, we don't know what to do. Let's go to Hagglefish. We'll figure it out on Hagglefish. We have so many plans. We've played this map so much. Let's just go there.
Yeah, Hagglefish, very much. I like to think of it as a training wheels map. It's very. There are 3 routes. There's the left, there's the right, and there's the middle. And the zone's in the middle, and there are 2 flanks on the left, and one on the left, and one on the right. And it's all about finding the right song and dance between those 3 aspects. But we're jumping straight into Game 4 here. Splat Zones on Hagglefish Market. If Tame pulls out 52, this might be the distinct win. Unfortunately, well, not even unfortunately, just Tame opting to switch back to Decapitator, valuing the Inkjet over the sheer aggression of the 52 gal.
Yeah, I guess Tame wants to get back to that sword, wants more of that swordsman action. Aldi and Little Lovers, we'll see what they're able to do. And I really like to see the Junior coming back on this map. Junior always pays off on this map. Once you activate your big bubbler next to the zone, the zone is yours. But I say that there's a big bubbler and they don't take the zone.
Unfortunately, the bubble wasn't quite on the zone.
Yeah.
It's still correct statement. As we see Tiger literally putting a bubble on the zone and they're gonna get it.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you get the zone.
Heck yeah, that's how you get the zone, but how do you get past the zone? That's the question on Distinct's minds right now. As we see most of them opting at the same time, but Afro tries to go for a really aggressive flank, will be taken out here, as it's now time. Oh god! Oh, Conroe's about to find out the pick, surely. No way, Conroe doesn't find that pick, but Aldi and Little Lovers are still going to be able to get control of this zone. It is a 3v3 right now. Sail deciding to hold on to Cooler as members of Aldi and Little Lovers are a little bit split up right now, but Conroe single-handedly holding Distinct's core all by himself. Unfortunately, Spectator Cam missed half of that, but holy moly, what a play by Conroe.
Conroe really going in, locking in, getting the Splat onto the Zuka, but that's only going to be a trade now. Tame is trying to get in there with a Decapitator, gets punished. Aldi and Little Lovers are in full control, no penalty. The map is completely yellow, and Distinct has a final push, a final try at the zone now.
The Afro King opting to try and go for a bit of a flank on this right side here. They need to find some picks with the Zuka. Are able to find a pick onto Mr. Leo, but the bubble from Molly is going to be able to block all the shots on the zone. Tiger will pop their own bubble, but they don't quite get close enough to the zone in time. And just like that, we're on game 5.
The big bubbler in the end by Aldi to simply seal the deal, stop the Zuka, stop the Inkjet, force them to try to shed the bubbler, but it was too late. Very nice and clean comeback by Aldi appreciators there. They really showed what they can do when their plan is working. They really took control there.
Yeah, if you're on Distinct right now, your confidence is going to be a little bit lower than it was before. You've just won 2 games in a row, and then Aldi appreciators and Little Lovers going to the bargain aisle and pulling out a solid victory in that game is going to unnerve you a little bit. It's now back in the court. The ball is back in the court of Distinct in terms of picking their map. They can't go back to zones. They can't go back to tower control. They have to either try Clan Blitz, which we've already seen the Aldi appreciators win on once before, or they can try and pick a Rainmaker map, which, to be honest, given their Tri-Stringer and Roller strategy, Rainmaker might actually be the play for them here.
I agree. I mean, Distinct, they like to run in and fight. That's kind of their thing. That's been their thing this whole set right now. So if they keep doing that, Rainmaker is very much a good option for them. And we'll see how they do. I mean, Aldi appreciators and Little Lovers, they won on Hagglefish Market. It's the marketplace, and they shouldn't go to Macomart because that's another market for them.
Yeah, Rainmaker maps in this. Well, they've decided not to go for Rainmaker. They have in fact picked Scorch Gorge Clan Blitz here. Honestly, I'm liking that. It's a solid roller stage. I'm reckoning Tame might switch to 52. You know what? You know how strong 52 is on Scorch Gorge.
Yeah, that's very much a possibility right there. And Distinct, again, a very, very nice pick for them. These killer whales are going to allow them to get in simply, and we will see how they're able to do that.
Yeah, something I noticed from that tower controlling Bot Art Academy game is when Tame is on a shooter alongside Afro, the two of them pair up exceedingly well. We oftentimes taking the same angle, approaching the same area from 2 completely different angles to just efficiently dispatch whoever might be sharking there. And so far, when Aldi appreciators and Little Lovers, when Conroe's not been able to kind of sit in a spot and catch someone, or when Mr. Leo has been caught out by in these 1v2 situations, Distinct have been able to turn that into so much momentum here. And on a momentum based mode like Clan Blitz, that's going to be really, really important, I think, especially with how Scorch Gorge, there's only one real way to push, but that alternate path is a fantastic flank route, and it's a really strong path for not like 52, but also Decab if they decide to stick with the Inkjet here. And we're about to find out whether they are going to stick with that Inkjet as we jump straight into Game 5, match point of the set. Out in the Lovers versus the Decavitator of Distinct.
Yep, we'll see what we have. I mean, Decavitator with a charge slash can kinda run through these grades, I guess. That's going to allow faster flank, and Tame already dropping to the side, trying to create something with that wall, has to retreat as everybody on the other team is able to push them away. Now with this, Leo is able to simply get in and punish with 2 players down. It looks like Audi and Little Lovers are getting some momentum. It's focusing again.
I mean, it's not over just yet. They were cooling up while Pushing Tiger was able to catch a bunch of them out of control mid, rapidly flipping to the side of Distinct. They get 3 down here. It is just the Mole trying to hold it off, is able to take out Tame with a well-placed spot bomb, but Distinct, again, the first team to open this basket. This game reminding me a little bit of the one we saw earlier in this set, if you ask me, with Distinct. Celebratory, they've got a little bit of they've got a few points on the board, but unfortunately not able to convert that into too much, as Afro forced back is going to get a nice double onto both Connor and the Mole. Mr. Leo and Sale are the only 2 people in mid right now. Sale opting to pop that Inkjet. Tame is going to be on that top mid, threatening to one-shot anyone that tries to climb up. And Distinct are in a pretty good position, if you ask me. Their score isn't that high, but with no one dying to that BR bomb and not much control being gained off of it, as I say, that Connor immediately gets onto top mid, gets a pick onto Tame, and is popping his Inkjet. He means business, and that business is getting another pick onto Afro King.
Very nice one. Now, Audi and Little Lovers, they were here earlier in the game. Now they need to get to the basket. They need to get that super glam and go forward. Afro dropping in, furnishing control, and forcing all of the Little Lovers to simply move back into their own spawn. Afro dancing around in a 1v2, able to delay things but not able to do enough. It looks like the Little Lovers are going to keep control over mid-spawn, but they still have to get in.
Yeah, Mole opting to pop bubble on this right side, desperately trying to find a little bit more control. Unfortunately, that bubble isn't really going to find that much value. Might be able to get a couple of jumps in. Unfortunately, the amount of time that they took to try and set up a push, Distinct surrounded them, and just like that, mid-control has flipped back to Distinct. You see moves trying to get on top mid, Mole not able to cash them out with a splat bomb, but Afro King is going to be taken down as a result. And because of that, Audi and Little Lovers, as I say that, what a fantastic hit from Rouge onto the Mole. Another one going down. Congo will be taken down here. Mr. Leo also being taken down. It is a 2v1 right now. Sale holding, they're trying to hold on for dear life, but Tiger opting to use their bubble. This is going to be quite a big push from Distinct coming in here, Pat.
Yeah, Distinct not stopping them now at the 50-point mark, and Tiger is finally punished. Audi and Little Lovers are going to defend, are going to stop that push. The Super Clan is coming in. That's 20 points for a wipeout now. Audi and Little Lovers, we know they like a good comeback on Clan Blitz, and they have a big bubble under the...
Often to throw the Clan a little bit too early. They get one in, but 2 of them have already gone down by this point. That's a wipeout for Distinct. Oh.
That's the mistake you don't want to make. Not that deep into the tournament. We have a minute and a half left right now, and Dame is already by the basket, looking to find a way in with the jetpack to just simply apply pressure. Audi and Little Lovers are struggling to get out of their own spawn.
Yeah, very nice inkjet from Tame that actually used it to bait Mr. Leo, as Bubble's going to be popped a little ways from the basket. That should... Oh, as I say that, the Mole getting another fan. Keeps finding picks, like by throwing bombs at the Bubble, and then people will be caught on the outside of it. Tame will find one pick. Unfortunately, it's going to be able to find a second pick onto Mr. Leo. It's less than a minute left. Not very many clams on the side of Audi and Little. They need to find control of mid soon. They need to find a way to make a power clam within this next sort of 20 seconds, but while they do still have that pity, they don't have control of mid. This is being taken out. It is a 3v3, but Aldi and the Lovers just don't have the positioning or the weapons to be able to threaten Distinct as Tame docking in, looking to find a pick. Unfortunately, nobody getting close enough just yet. Stelio dropping down, being taken out by... I couldn't see who that was, but it was one of the members of Distinct. There 10 seconds left. Connor with 7 clams. They have the pity. Sail has grabbed it. Afro King not able to find a pick with the Zuka. One person's gone down. Tame has gone down. They've got 2 specials, but Mr. Leo being taken down yet again. They're not going to have the Brio Bomb in time for this push.
Run.
They need to get going. They need to put themselves into gear here. Cooler has been put. They're going to try and drug themselves up to get themselves to that basket, but they're not finding the picks quickly enough. And just like that, Distinct on track for grand finals of Splat Pursuit number 3. What a game 5.
Well, I mean, Distinct, they make a statement here. Albion Little Lovers were able to take games off of Distinct, but not on their counterpick. And if you can't take a game off your opponent's counterpick and they can take your counterpick, you lose the set. That was a close one, but in the end, Distinct taking control of that Clan Blitz and taking control of the set.
Yeah, I think that comp was just really good there. Like, yeah, when you look at the comp of Aldi Appreciators and Little Lovers, it's very short range and very easily threatened by weapons like that shot, like that decab, like that bow, and especially like that roller. You know, they're relying a lot on the mole to paint the floor there, but when your junior is scared of going in because there's a roller that could just one-shot them at basically any moment, they're not going to go in that much, because, you know, why would you? And as a result of that, like, all the Appreciators and Little Lovers over the course of that game just not quite putting down the paint that they needed in order to secure control of it and secure control of that basket. They could have had a really, really good push there, but unfortunately, Clan being thrown a bit too early, and I think they just lost composure in that moment as well. Really unfortunate, but they are going to be able to play the 3rd place match. But to see who their opponents will be for that 3rd place, and to see who else gets through to grand finals, we're going to need to see the other semi-final, aren't we, Pat?
Yep, we'll get right in that lobby. We'll be right back when we're there.
Hello and welcome back to Splat Pursuit number 3, the final qualifier for Splat Legacy. I'm Spore, and I'm being joined by Hat for this second semi-final game. Earlier we watched the first semi-final game between Distinct and Aldo Appreciators and Little Lovers, which is a little bit of a mouthful to say. But this time the team names are a bit shorter, but the competition will still be just as fierce. Retroma Paradise versus Grug.
Yep, I mean, we've seen Retroma Paradise come to the first 2 qualifiers, and they made it to top 4. And they are in top 4 once again. But this time they are facing Grug, the team that beat Distinct, the team that's usually beating Retroma Paradise, the team that Retroma Paradise really wanted to face again. It's been denied to them right now, as Grug is the top seed from Group A.
Yeah, not at all what we were expecting so far. I mean, like, Retroma Paradise, not only have they gotten top 4 in these pursuits, but they were 1 point away from knocking Chewit's Sparking Flavor out of Splat Vibes back in July. So you know that this team is strong, you know they mean business, and so far in Pursuit they've been struggling a little bit to find their footing here, but they have been able to pull out of the group of death, and they find themselves staring down Grug, who earlier on stream we saw them play against Distinct, and to say that the way that, like, that while their name might sound a little bit sort of, you know, like prehistoric, the way that the efficiency that they dispatched the members of Distinct with is nothing short of, like, something from the future. It was so efficient, so smooth, and I'm proud to say that I'm quite familiar with both of these teams. Retroma Paradise, I recently started coaching, believe it or not, and the members of Grug, Revo, I used to be on a team with him way back in the day. Akira, I used to coach, and it's honestly like seeing players that I used to play with and interact with like years ago just like pop back up and be as strong as they are is really like it's really wholesome for me, like, to see. But also the other two members of Grug, Nako and Rai, both of them have been grinding hard ever since Breeze last year. In fact, both of these teams really kind of had their start at Breeze last year. Retroma forming specifically for Breeze last year, and Grug consisting of players that partook in Breeze, realized that they kind of liked, you know, they like playing with each other, and finally have decided, you know what, now's the time for us to join forces and qualify for Splat Legacy.
Hey, and they're on their way to it. There's only 2 sets left in their way. First, we'll see who of Retroma Paradise and Grug will get to go against Distinct for the finals. And as the other semi-finals for, we're going to start with Clan Blitz on Museum d'Alfonsino.
Yeah, and like the last set, we're seeing a cooler list team versus a cooler team. So Retroma Paradise, they're usually using either a Zap or a heavy edit Splat Link for their cooler. Primarily Zap from Harry XYZ, but if needed, they can put Hyperstar onto the cooler heavy edit. But of course, up front you've got Jason and Acing. Jason probably going to be playing Bucket, is going to be looking to try and ship as many people down as possible and enable their team to push up with strikes. And Acing is Acing. If you don't know who Acing is, you haven't been near a legend the last 6 months. If you the way that they are able to consistently find picks from seemingly nowhere is insane. But before I even get a chance to explain what the strategy of Grug is, we're just gonna have to see it for yourself. Game 1 on Clan Blitz Museum d'Alfonsino.
Yep, Grug on their own terms. They're bringing the Stamper, the Tetris, and the Brush. That's a very, very aggro team. Especially without a cooler, they're going to rely on that gear, I guess, to secretly spawn faster and faster. As they're getting the first pick, and it's on the heavy edit. Oh, they get more picks than that. Actually, Grug opening incredibly strong. They're already under the basket with a super glam. All they need to do is go through that final final barrage of defense from Retroma Paradise. The strikes are enough to push them away from the platform, but the push is still trying to get in.
Yeah, trying to pop all the stuff. Unfortunately, Retroma were cooled up, so while they did secure 3 picks, they are still going to be able to hold on to that power. Now, Akira going to be taken down. This is the point in the game where I'd say Grug's come struggles a little bit, because normally they like to try and surround their members by constantly, like, distracting using the brush, using the Petras. Akira getting a really nice pick onto Splat. Proving my example here, unfortunately, is not going to be able to get the pick onto Harry, as I said, but Nako is going to be able to get a single power cannon here. It will bubble as well. While it's not going to be a big push for them, but it is technically a lead. Akira is going to be able to jump out at the end there. But we're seeing 2 very different approaches to tempo this game. We've got Return of Paradise, who, with their cooler, they're going to be trying to generate momentum mostly while they're cooler, but if you're Grog, you've just got loads of QR to do that for you. You can constantly generate that momentum and have, like, whenever you want to go in, you can just go in. We see Rebo doing just that, getting a pick onto Harry XYZ. Unfortunately, isn't quite sure where to find the next one. Acing is going to try and run in with the hammer, but when the only other member of their team alive is Hyperstar and they're not cooled and there's a Tetra rolling you on your plat, you might want to get back sooner. Luckily, Jason is going to do just that, able to find a nice run into Akira as well.
Yeah, right now, Retroma Paradise is slowly learning to adapt to the constant pace, to the constant attack that Grug is bringing to them. Hyper able to counter some right there, but has to go into a ball because of a Zipcaster right there. But now he's going to punish! Ooh, huge bomb to get both of the jumps in, and now Retroma Paradise, they're looking to get their own push, and as you said, there's only a 20 points of lead. Retroma is very likely to get the lead here.
Right now, both teams are tied up here. Jason is going to try and slip through. It is Hyperstar that's going to be able to score points to get the lead. Rebo is going to be able to keep down here. Rebo finding a second really nice pick onto Jason. Using Tatra as a weapon has been rising a little bit in viability in recent months, so it's really nice to be able to see Tatra play again. But we're also seeing Acing on the left-hand side. Going to be trying to keep the numbers of Grog away from the platform just a little bit longer. The only special they've really got right now is knock on the bubble, but as I say that, both Hyperstar and Jason going to be taken out. The bubble will be caught. Acing forced to use the hammer. Is going to find a pick or to knock it, but will be taken out by Rai on that Splatana Stamper. Really threatening weapon. You don't want to get hit at all by that thing. Jason deciding to flop down the bell. Unfortunately, Rai not opting to throw away their ball before using Zip Cutter. So while the Zip is providing a lot of value, they're not going to be able to score off of it. And slowly but surely, Retroma Paradise are finding picks. They've gotten 2 kills onto the members of Grog. 3 down, that's a wipeout. And they're going to be pushing back up onto the plat here, Pat.
Yeah, Grug not really knowing what to do with that Zipcaster when they no longer have the ball. They really allowed Retroma Paradise to get their bearings back. And defend really well right now. Akira needs to find the pick to defend as Retroma has reopened the basket and is getting a lot of clams in. They're not stopping. 23 points left. Retroma Paradise, they could end the game right here if they keep the basket open, and they do exactly that right now.
Yeah, they've got no clams for the moment, so this push might be over fairly soon, but they're still fighting hard, still trying to make it as inconvenient as possible for the members of Grug to get any sort of mileage. You see Acing is going to be able to pick off Nako. Nako being a really important player for Grug right now. Basically their primary source of pain and their primary source of sustaining aggression using the bubble. But if they're not going to be able to use that bubble, it's going to be a little bit longer before Grug is going to be able to do anything here. We see members of Retroma, what they're doing is they're just stacking themselves on the sides of this stage right now, preventing any member of Grug from getting around them and splitting their attention. But we do see Rebo gonna pop that roof side. Isn't quite gonna be able to find a pick. Officially doesn't chip down Harry's head. The last 10 seconds to get 3 members of Retroma Paradise going. None of them have the cooler. They are going to be able to get a panic. It is just Acing. Acing will be able to trade with Ryder. Unfortunately, Akira running straight into the heavy end spot. They're not going to be able to get that power clam in. And game 1 of this set going confidently to Retroma Paradise.
That trade from Acing there allowed Hyper to get back into position and charge these final shots that allowed them to really secure the basket. Retroma Paradise, they lost the first fight. At first, it looked like they were pummeled by Grug constantly cycle active, they were able to slowly get better and better and finally get that big push.
Yeah, you can see over the course of that game, the members of Return to Paradise adapting their defenses just a little bit. Obviously, with a comp like Grog, you want to try and find any sort of avenue to just simply stacking members across, in between those sort of two pinch points that the members of Grog were trying to push through. We did, of course, the brush and the tetra are the primary motivators behind the strategy, but I gotta talk about that Splatana Stamper as well. Really, really interesting pick. Not only for a comp like that, you want two other weapons that you want another weapon that sort of is able to paint the floor alongside that junior, but opting for the Splatana Stamper, they're opting for a much more aggression here, but we are going to be seeing a Splat Zones pick of Splat Zones Robo Ramen. I'm not sure about this pick personally. I would have thought you'd go for a map where the brush and the tetra have more avenues to get further into the base, not strictly around them.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that pans out for them shortly. But Bus, I gotta ask, Pat, how often do you think their quick respawn is going to activate in this game?
Yes. Pretty much. I mean, this is a map where the heavy edit is going to see you coming, and will have the time to charge. And as the brush and the tetras will try to run across the zone, it's not going to work because there's going to be a heavy edit around the zone to punish them. So Grug needs to hard flank all the time. They're going to spend a lot of time flanking because I don't see them going through the zone right there.
Yeah, they're not going to have the ability to flank around. Robo Ramen made is very straightforward to approach, and no composition change from Grug, but we do see a switch to the ballpoint splatling. Not a weapon that we see too much anymore. Obviously, it was meta eons ago, and by that I mean a year ago. But we're going to have to see whether the switch to the ballpoint does anything there. Unfortunately, two members of Return of Paradise instantly being taken out here. There's Harry XYZ. Both remaining members of Return are able to jump out here as Harry popping cooler quite right in front of the members of Grug. They really want to, he's really wanting his team to try and just fight them now. Unfortunately, Jason will be taken out. Ryan with the Zipcaster and beautiful team play. Is going to be able to take them out here. The cooler event not really going to do a whole lot for them as we reach the halfway mark on the zone. Revo will not be respawning quickly because he not only did he get a kill, but he also, that was his first death of the game, I believe. Acing, feeding with hammer, not really what you want to see right now. Oh, fantastic pick from Jason by Revo. This is, we're reaching the last quarter of the game right now. Harry XYZ really is going to be picked off. The members of Return of Paradise desperately trying to get something started. Acing, running in, just very much wanting the zone to be flipped a little bit too desperately, but it's a brush. Okay, I was about to say Brush and Junior just paints that, but apparently not. Return of Paradise is going to be able to flip the zone. Acing finally doing something with that hammer as they're going to find a third thing, maybe even a fourth. Nah, Akira's got that. Akira's got that on lock. Shutting down Acing. Unfortunately, they are going to be stuck in that corner. Hyperstar is going to be. Okay, I was about to say Hyperstar is going to be holding off, but Akira's just kind of going a little bit of a hike right now. Unfortunately, doesn't quite find the Ninja with that hammer, but they might be able to get a pick here. Running past the Ninja, I'm not sure if I agree with that play, but this should be zone flipping straight back towards Grug, and this game is suddenly now all to play for here, Pat.
Yeah, Retroma have shown that they can hold the zone, that they can create their opportunities. They need to find a way to push in. If they're able to put themselves onto the zone again, they could very well get the lead, as Grug has been struggling to push onto Retroma as much as Retroma was struggling to push on Grug. And right now with Q down onto Grug, Retroma is going to get the zone back. Acing going back to get a little drink right there. That's going to be a bit more aggro. Rai needs to defend with that stuff, but Grug needs to wait for the specials. Here comes the Zipcaster. Rai trying to get in, but now all of Retroma is defending as well as they can. As I say that, they're not defending well enough. The zone is split again.
Yeah, Nako just trying to have some bit of control of his own. Compared to the rest of their team, Nako is extremely chilled out. Just kind of watching all the carnage unfold, but that's exactly what they need to be doing. They need to be painting the floor and letting their teammates handle all the aggression for them, as we see Rai trying to do the bread and butter stamper combo here. Unfortunately, members of Retro are not going to get caught out. Kira straying a little bit too close to the sun. 3 members of three members of Grug being taken out there, as suddenly Grug is now on the back foot with an inkjet on standby for Retromo to use.
And here it comes.
Here it comes, but he's going to be taken out by a wonderful slap up by Nako here. Zone flipping once again to Grug, as Jason is going to be punished for being a little bit too greedy there on that zone, but several members of Retromo, Cooler is going to be popped by Harry XYZ. This is the time where you don't want to be dying. Unfortunately, as I say that, 2 members of Grug being taken down here. This should be a zone flip towards... This should definitely be a zone flip towards Retromo, as so far this game has gone from being confidently in Grug's hands to very much a back and forth here.
Yeah, but Retroman needs to stop with the back and forth. They still have a lot of points to come back from. Akira dodging, but not dodging well enough for the Blasters AOE. 1 minute left and Retroman doesn't have any penalty. They only need to stop that next push and they get the KO pretty much. It's acing, chasing the brush away. The zone isn't flipped yet, as Retromo is painting as much as they can. Grug going in. The strikes, are the strikes enough to take the zone back? Yes, but they lose all of their players. Grug is back in control with 30 seconds left. Now they only need to throw a few bombs forward and delay.
Yeah, the penalty is not that large here. Acing is going to try and run with the hammer. Unfortunately, only trading with Revo here, I believe. Revo got that QR on that as well. 6 flying from Akira here. It's going to be able to find a third pick hit. It's just Jason left alive right now. Last 10 seconds of the game. Jason is not going to be able to 1v4 that no matter how hard he tries. And that will be Grug taking their first game in this set.
We are now 1-1. I mean, we saw a close semi-final on the other side. It had to be close on that side as well. That whole tournament, all of these teams have been taking games off of each other, and I can't wait to watch more.
So it's been so back and forth. All the way back in groups, it's been super back and forth. I believe only 2 sets from groups ended in a clean sheet for one team. Everything else being 2-1 on the scorelines, I believe. But it's now 1-1 in this set. So far, both teams now only got 2 games to win if they want to try and take this set. Grug winning that zones game is absolutely massive, not only because they've put themselves on the score sheet and they've shown to Retromo, hey, we mean business, you better be ready for us. It also means that they can't pick zones again later in this set, and they looked a lot more comfortable on zones than they did during that Clam Blitz game. So if I was Retromo Paradise, I'd be looking at the maps right now, trying to see what maps are going to limit this this Brush Tetra duo from causing as much havoc as possible. And the answer that they have come up with is tower control on Ship Shape Cargo Co.
Ooh.
That's a really, really good counter pitch, you know what? That's a fantastic.
Yeah, that's a great one. I mean, tower control, when you have acing on your team, picking tower is like a no-brainer, I'd say. You have a crazy good blaster, go for the tower map, that's a good pick. And on Ship Shape, they will have the range advantage that helps them. One thing to note, though, on the side of Grug, in that previous game, what we saw was a game of punish, of both teams trying to run onto the other, except Grug was able to punish what Retroma was doing, whereas Retroma Paradise was not able to stop that Akira with the brush from running circles around them.
Yeah, we saw over the course of that game, Akira just kind of running around, not really going for kills that you would expect a Brush to go for, probably sowing a few seeds of perplexion in the minds of Retroma Paradise, but it's all to lead up towards that one moment where you think, oh, surely the brush won't flank for the 5th time, like in the exact same way. Lo and behold, they do it and they'll get 3 picks off of it, and you'll end that game being more tilted than you have ever been in your entire life. But so something I want to mention about these teams as well. Like, you pointed out that both these teams are trying to punish each other more so than trying to like force plays out themselves. They're trying to they're sort of trying to ensure that they can punish the enemy team as effectively as possible. But the way that they're doing that is different. You know, Return of Paradise, I think, are very much relying on just acing to be able to do that. Like, they're not acing and Jason didn't coordinate too well in that last game. They were in very separate areas of the map. Yeah. And on top of that, acing also made a lot of very sort of questionable hero plays, I would call them, to try and get some sort of control back. Whereas Grug, relying on the team, like the entire team framework to punish the members of Return of Paradise. But Return of Paradise have a ballpoint of this map, and Grug don't. Instead, they have a Rapid Blaster Pro Deco. I wasn't sure if they were going to be bringing it out here, because they did have it in their back pocket, but we are finally seeing Blaster against Blaster, the longest of the blasters against the shortest. Let's see who comes out on top.
Yep, well, acing already trying to go in, and as you were saying, for Retroma very much wanting to have acing going, do the solo plays right now, but it's not working that well, right? It's still around the tower, holding it, and it's Grug again with the monster opening. Every game, Grug has had a really, really good opening that allows them to score the points right away. And Revo is going in, is going to get punished. Grug right there already getting the checkpoint, and getting that checkpoint is very much a big deal actually, because that doesn't look like much, but that checkpoint is super long. Oh! Okay, so I see you. I see you. Yeah, we see, like, Grug able to get past that first checkpoint. That is, like, the first major hurdle, but unfortunately petering out, as opposed to Return of Paradise, who, after getting caught a little bit off guard, they've got their cooler, they've got their resources, they've got their team strategy is starting to get a move on here. As they're gonna get this first checkpoint here, or they should get this first checkpoint. All Hypersonic Screws get on the tower, but Narco is running in on this junior. He's gonna bubble off, forcing Hammer out of acing. They're gonna lose lead and lose that checkpoint, but they don't have that many specials on standby. Acing's not gonna have that Hammer for a little while, and Harry, well, they are close. Okay, I was about to say, Harry's just pop cooler. Jason is about to pop strikes. This is looking fairly dire for Grug right now. It's a disaster waiting to happen as Revo being taken out here. Akira really struggling to find an avenue here. He's going to be able to get Harriers here. Unfortunately, not going to be able to immediately capitalize on that. Might be able to get a pick onto Jason. Unfortunately, Inkbrush on tower. Not the most reliable thing in the world is Hyperstar. Fantastic double. It is just Revo left alive. But I don't think Revo's winning that 1v3. Now, Harry XYZ is going to be able to clean that up as Return of Paradise approaching this final checkpoint here. They're going to need to pull something out if they want to defend. Akira is going to be able to find one pick. Unfortunately, acing will immediately be punishing that. And for every pick, the Grug gets in a situation where Return of Paradise gets double the value. They're cooling up right now. They can afford to lose a couple of members on these picks. A nice direct from acing onto Akira, as it is just Harry XYZ. Grug will be able to stop Retroma from getting through that last checkpoint, but right now, Retroma, if you're on Retroma, you're feeling quite comfortable. You've still got most of the paint on your side, and there's a blaster on left, and, like, unfortunately acing. We saw that one earlier, buddy. Yeah. Honestly, this is a different Retroma team that we just saw in the last game. This time Retroma, they're coordinating, they're using the map perfectly. You can tell that they like this map, that they like to come back on this map. But now, Grug, they no longer have checkpoint 1, and it's paying off their back. Forward, they're getting to that second checkpoint with a big bubbler. They're forcing acing to simply jump right on there. Get those few splats. The lead is not going to swap, but Grug was able to at least get in there, show that there's still very much danger here.
Yeah, Kira is still behind them right now. Is able to get pick onto Jason. Forces Acing to pop this hammer. It's just opting to run around. Is Acing getting picked off by Rai? This is exactly what you want to be seeing from your brush on this map. Just, you know they're not going to be able to run at the enemy, so you want them to just sort of just stall out the other members. And Kira doing that beautifully, enabling Grug to start pushing this tower once again. They're not going to have too many specials in time for this final checkpoint, I think, but Naga holding onto this bubble are going to be able to find the pick onto Hyperstar here. There's going to be no Inkjet to defend this tower as Revo will be taken out here, but if you're on Grug right now, it's just Acing on that top right. Revo is going to be taking that top right. Unfortunately, Acing gets a fantastic dive right. If Acing didn't win that fight, that could have gone the opposite way. It could have been definitely going towards Grug, but Retroma holding on for dear life right now. Is a 3v3. They are cooling up. Retroma, right, almost able to find that pick onto the hammer. Yeah. What a direct onto their feet there. But with less than 30 seconds left to go, Grug need to pull out all the stops if they want to win this match.
Yep, right now with 20 seconds left, Acing again on the hunt, trying to get in there. It's always the same angles, but Rai is answering with a longer range. Akira is punished, that is huge for Retroma right now. Grug is struggling to stay in the middle of the map, and then here comes the GG strikes to end the game. Retroma is taking game number 3 and are now one game away from breaking their third place curse and getting their spot into the finals.
Yeah, Retroma Paradise there on tower control, possibly their best mode. They decided to pull it out at a pretty good time, I think. We're able to, because they've got that game, they're one game away from winning this set. But if you're on Grug, you're probably also fairly relieved. Like, that map mode combination is absolutely atrocious for the combination of Brush plus Tetra, especially Ink Brush Nouveau, right? And yet, despite the sheer difference in composition strength, it was a really close game. 27 to 23. Both teams able to push it really, really fast. So if I was on Grug right now, I'd be like, you know what? We might have lost a tower control game, but we can do Clams, we can do Rainmaker, we can even do another tower control, maybe one that's a little bit better for our comp, and we'll be absolutely fine and ready to go. But they're taking a little bit more time with their counter pick on this one. Just thinking about this a little bit carefully. Obviously, if they do lose this game, they will be sent down to the third place match, and we will be seeing Retroma versus Distinct for the final time in this Splat Pursuit. But it's still very much what to play for right now, Pat.
Oh yeah, it's certainly not the end of Grug. They've shown how good they can play, how well they can play. Here on Retroma's counterpick, they were able to go deep in to almost get it there. And we are going to Scorch Gorge this time on Rainmaker, and given how the constant aggression from Grug is coming, Rainmaker is honestly a good pick.
Yeah, Rainmaker Scorch Gorge as well. You mentioned going deep, and if you want to go deep on a Rainmaker map, this is the map to do it. Obviously, the pedestal being all the way back in the spawn, so it's a lot of ground to cover. But if you're on Grug, you're not really so worried about that. You've got a Tetch with 4 rolls, you've got a Brush, you've got a Junior with absolutely absurd frame data and fantastic painting capabilities, and depending on whether they decide to go for the Rapid or whether they decide to go for the Splatana Stamper, they've got the means to continue being aggressive. Whereas if you're on Retroma, right, if you're on Retroma, you need to be really careful in this opening, because we've seen whenever Grug gets that opening, they're able to just take games in the blink of an eye. And on Rainmaker, often the opening isn't so clear-cut. You're not going to know exactly how you want to open until you look at that enemy comp and you have to make that split-second decision. And while the composition of Grug is fantastic for aggression, they don't have loads of popping power. Like, they've got that Junior and they've got that Stamper, but Tetra and Brush are not very well renowned, especially Brush, is not that well renowned for being able to pop the Rainmaker shield. So we're going to be seeing if Retroma Paradise will be able to play around that fact on their match point. We see a return to Splatana Stamper from Rai, but yeah, Rainmaker Scorch Gorge. Let's get straight into it.
Yeah, right now, they're relying on the Stamper to pop the Rainmaker unless the Junior wants to throw bones, but no, Retroma Paradise is going to instantly get the pop, and now they're trying to get the fight, but Akira is already running around, not getting anything. And it looks like both teams are still fighting in there, but Retroma are back into their side of the map, preparing their defense as Grug has taken control, and Akira is securing the Rainmaker, I guess.
Yeah, members of Grug were able to start getting a push-up. Unfortunately, a bit of miscoordination meant that they didn't grab the Rainmaker at the most opportune time, and acing, able to stop Akira from grabbing in the end, means that now that Retroma are cooled up, it's their turn to push, it's their turn to get past mid. It is just Akira right now. We're going to try and pick off this Rainmaker. Unfortunately, will be taken out by the combination of Jason and Hyperstar. Now it's just Narco forced to run all the way back into their base and try and set up somewhere so they can throw these flat bombs. Able to find 2 picks onto the members of Retroma, getting a little bit overzealous. That fantastic splat bomb from Narco. We're going to see them push up into mid here. They need to try and find a way to get control of this right-hand side without expending too many specials, because they just don't have the specials to brute force through. They've got Hammer, they've got Zipcaster, Reslider and Bubble. Those are not specials that move people, those are specials that kill people. And right now, they're looking for those picks around. Jason, quite weak from that Reslider. I'm surprised that even hit him around the balloon. Is going to be forced to jump out here. This looking like the beginning of a push for Grug. Akira is the one grabbing the Rainmaker, though, so they're going to not have as much of that distracting presence, but I was about to say the bubble actually causing them to die before they could even go up the checkpoint there.
Yeah. And denying the checkpoint here is so good if you're Retroma Paradise. They by themselves sometimes, they know that they can make an extra mistake as that checkpoint is giving them a buffer, the time to respawn. Akira running up these grades, trying to annoy everybody, but not able to find much. The hammer is going to come, he's not going to find anything again as Hyper is simply defending to the side. 2 down onto Grug again. Retroma are still very much in control of it right now.
Yeah, Retroma Paradise with 2 minutes and 36 left to go, still very much controlling mid, but the points aren't too different. They've grabbed the Rainmaker, they're running it the other way, able to get a few more points onto the board, but 3 members getting taken out. That's a really efficient wipeout from Grug. Narco is going to be the one to grab it this time, as Revo already on this right side might try to use this Reslider to secure some sort of like secure the checkpoint here for them. But strikes coming out from Jason, 2 members of Grug being taken out here. They're playing it a little bit too safe. The team that needs to play recklessly, needs to play aggressively, playing really safely as they're trying to push up here. Not really what you want to see, as the members of Retroma Paradise are starting to move this Rainmaker. They've decided, you know what, we're going to put it in the funny position. Of course, if you're new to Rainmaker Scorch Gorge, if the enemy team camps it in that one specific spot, it is so difficult to remove it. Unfortunately, members of Grug are not able to take out the Rainmaker, and this is starting to look really dire from really early.
Yeah, with not even the Zipcaster. I mean, there's enough time left in the game. The clock is going to force Retroma Paradise to do something off of it anyways, but Retroma just wasted a lot of time right there. And Grug is still looking for a way in. Narco is running forward with that Junior, getting to the Rainmaker. Still not able to splat it. Okay, now the Rainmaker is down, and Grug is going to try to get the repop unless Acing has something to say about it. It's not stopping, just Grug cannot catch your break right now.
Yeah, right now Acing is on the hunt, wants to try and get this pick onto Ryan. Unfortunately, Narco not quite able to find the pick fast enough, as the rest of their team is going to be able to jump in here. It is a 3v3 situation, but with 30 seconds left to go, three specials close for the members of Grug. They need to find a way to get these picks now. Then Akira deciding to pop that hammer. Jason does have strikes, might opt to use them to deny this checkpoint. Unfortunately, Jason not opting that instead. It'll have to be Acing directing the Rainmaker as the checkpoint is secured, but it's 68 to 57. Acing needs to live right now. Okay, we see why Jason opting to hold those strikes. They're going to try and GG strike out the Rainmaker here, and just like that, Retroma Paradise will be through to grand finals to face their old friends, Distinct.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the Splat Bullshit classic to see Retroma go against Distinct in the playoffs. We get game number 3 between the two teams, and it's going to be for all the marbles, I guess. So we'll take a short break to prepare that set. Do not go anywhere. And we are back to the road to Splat Legacy. We had, I believe, 7 teams register for today's tournament. We now only have 2 teams left standing. And these 2 teams are pretty much Splat Pursuit Classic teams about to play us a Splat Pursuit Classic match. It's going to be Retroma Paradise going against Distinct again. Hey, Spore.
Yeah. Hey, so yeah, Distinct and Retroma Paradise. In Splat Pursuit 1, they faced each other in semis. Distinct won. In Splat Pursuit 2, Retroma Paradise and Distinct played in a semi-final. Distinct won again. But today we have seen so many upsets. That SRB2 dude was playing in this tournament earlier, and they went 1-2 in groups. So, a lot of unexpected tournament results have happened today, and while the record so far shows Distinct might be on track to win this and qualify for Splat Legacy, with how many upsets have gone on today, it would not surprise me whatsoever if Retroma Paradise are finally able to break their curse and defeat Distinct once and for all in this grand final. And to be honest, I think this first game might be the best chance Retroma has to make their opening statement, as Game 1 is Splatzone's Mako and you know Mako pretty good for Lunar Blaster, right?
Oh yes, it is. And I mean, earlier during in the casters chat, Acing was coming to us and saying, please, we want to play Distinct and we want to be on stream against Distinct. They've been preparing for it. That's the set that both of these teams want to play. That's the set. There is more than just the qualifier here. There's a statement that needs to be made by either of these teams. This one is for everything, and Retroma, they're down 2 sets, but this is the only set that counts right now. This is the one for the qualification.
Yeah, the first 2 Splat pursuits, there was sort of like, there's always that one team in the bracket that kind of just rolled everybody else. In Splat Pursuit 1, it was Infrared. In Splat Pursuit 2, it was yours Mammothly. But this time, there is no team like that. It's Retroma Paradise and Distinct, almost seemingly destined to eventually play in Grand Finals, but not quite able to get there in the first 2. Finally able to play against each other in the Grand Finals. If whoever wins this set qualifies for Splat Legacy, which, like, I participated in like an earlier iteration of this event called Splat Reunion all the way back in 2022, right at the very end of Splatoon 2, and that tournament very much defined the UK Splatoon scene in terms of the players and the teams that we would be seeing for the next 2 years. And with Splat Legacy, I want to believe that this... I want to believe that it'll have the same sort of effect, if not more so. And I think both of these teams embody that beautifully. Retroma Paradise pick up the form for Breeze and continued playing with each other, aspiring to become the next top UK team, trying to dethrone Shuit's Mafia. Because Shuits have been there for God knows how long at this point. And on the other hand, you have Distinct. Relatively new team, relatively new players. I remember seeing players like Mooj in like Open and like X rank all the way at the start of Splatoon 3, and they've risen from being players that I see all the time and be like, oh, like I don't know who these guys are, but I keep seeing them, to, oh, I'm seeing these guys in Grand Finals of a tournament where the winner qualifies to for a LAN in Basingstoke. So both of these teams have had quite, and like all of these players have had quite the journey since the start of Splatoon 3, but now is the chance for them to secure their chance to build a legacy for themselves.
Yep, it's time for the finals of this tournament. But as you said, the destiny of the UK is at stake right here, right now, today. And we'll see who of these two rivals will come out on top. Retroma Paradise, not much surprise in terms of composition. Distinct as well. As we'd expect, Tame is going to the 52. They want to fight. They want to run at the opponent and shoot.
Yeah, it's vitally important that they get kills quickly onto Retroma Paradise, because if you don't, you'll have an acing in your backline, indirectly the ever-living hell out of everyone on your team. But right now, mid is being pretty strongly contested. We see Tame being the first person to be taken down. Tiger opting to be a little bit overzealous in the middle of the zone here, as Jason and Acing able to team up fantastically. Unfortunately, Jason going in a little bit too much. That is going to get taken out and result in Acing also being taken out. But they did have Cooler. They are going to be able to fight mid. It looks like this thing is going to be able to flip this one, and they do. But strikes and inkjet from Jason will try to secure mid. What an inkjet shot from Hyperstar there.
Yeah, and that inkjet shot restores the balance in terms of player numbers on the map. This thing had to throw that bubbler onto the zone in order to get it, and will put themselves right. As Distinct is holding pretty strong right now, waiting to get in there, and Tame again with that 52, simply running in, getting into fights, but getting punished by the Luna.
Yeah, he's able to punish that really nicely. Unfortunately, 2 members of Retroma Paradise rather suddenly being taken down here. Acing deciding to go, you know what, my melee weapon is better than yours, able to pick off Tiger. He's going to get a horn really nice right onto Mooj as well. Unfortunately, it will end up trading with Tame. Acing single-handedly bringing it back for Retroma Paradise, and is now in the ball's very much in Retroma's court net right now. They need to try and set up around this, so make sure that they don't randomly get picked off by Mooj on this bow, who has been hitting just one-shots at all the right moments. They do have the chumps ready alongside the bubble from the ball. Is finally able to find that pick onto Harry X, being incredibly patient, and now be just like that zone flipping right back to Distinct.
Yep, Distinct keeping their lead, getting back a good control over the zone right now. They know they still need to attack that platform to the side, but it's working pretty well. Everybody's pushed out, and Hyper is going to get slammed in the face with a Roller Tiger. He's still going forward, trying to get in, but with 2 players down, it looks like Retroma is back onto the zone, ready to paint it. Apply penalty. That's going to go a long way for them right now.
Yeah, Target is still alive, is able to find a pick onto Harry Extra right as they were about to get cooler as well. Really big pick from Tiger there. So we see Afro, I think they're trying to shot, but the spectator cam isn't quite sure what to do with that. Or they just walk on top of Stack and kill Hyperstar, that works too. But Harry Extra side, back from the grave, is going to be able to clean that up, does have cooler ready, is going to pop it really far back. Not sure if I like that, because Jason's going to have to run all the way back into freeze to get that and give up control of this zone as we see Tame on this right side. It's going to try and it's going to pick onto Ace, and unfortunately will find the trade, but trade onto a cooler play is not exactly what you want, especially if Jason is going to try to immediately move up to capitalize. But thankfully, Mooch is putting on so much pressure with this tri-stringer, man. Every time someone on Retroba wants to move up into any sort of aggressive position, Mooch just shoots a shot. It's like, hey, I see you. I know what you're doing. But we do see Tame coaxing out that hammer from Ace, and it looks like they reached the final 10 ticks of the zone here. Retroba needing to pull something out there.
Yeah, with 2 down onto Distinct, maybe they have the time. Yes, they're able to capture the zone just in the nick of time. Now they know what they need to do. It's either going to be a KO or a victory by Distinct, and Distinct with a big bubbler onto the zone are instantly going to retake it, reapply a penalty on Retrova. With a minute left, Distinct, all they need to do from now on is just get onto the zone, put a bubbler, just to capture once in a while, every once in a while.
Yeah, all this they need to do is just continually recap this zone, and they'll be in a fantastic position. But right now, control is in the hands of Retroma Paradise. They've managed to pick up Tiger, but they're not really doing that much to hold the members of Distinct. We do see Jason being taken out, won't be able to get strikes in time for this defense, as we see Tame, 3 members of the side of Distinct being taken out. For the back side of Retroba Paradise here, we're going into the last 10 seconds of the game. No penalty left, 30 ticks on the zone. Retroba need to KO. They need to make sure that they all stay alive here. They are all coolered, but that cooler will run out before they are able to secure that knockout. The members of Distinct stacking on this right-hand side, trading Hyperstar for Tiger. Freaking will be taken out. It's Tame able to find 2 picks onto the zone. 2 picks onto the zone. It's just Harry Express painting. That will not be enough. And game 1 going to Distinct.
That was the game of pop-off, and Tame got the final pop-off right there, ending the game, getting the splats, getting the camps onto the super jump. And that was such a close game once more. We were so deep into overtime. If Retroma gets one extra bomb, gets one extra splat, is able to deny Tame that push in the end, that's a different game. That's a different ending. We were so close, but Distinct gets game number 1 against Retroma Paradise. Now we go on to Retroma's counterpick. And what is it going to be, and why is it tower control on the chipset cargo company?
Well, if I was in Retrova's Paradise right now, like my thought would be that we need to pick a map that we feel very comfortable on. Like, not like as we've talked about like several times already. Retrova Paradise and Distinct have a history. Yeah, and that history so far has been Distinct winning against Retroma Paradise. The sets have been close, but Distinct has always shown to be the more dominant team among the two. And losing like that against a team that you obviously really, really want to beat, if you're Retroma Paradise right now, you might be feeling a little bit unnerved. You might be thinking, all the marbles that are played for here, this isn't just semi-finals, this is grand finals. We need to win, we need to secure our spot in Splat Legacy. We need to begin forging our own legacy here. And right now, like, Distinct, fairly confidently throughout that game, I would say, getting game 1. So if I was a Troma, I'd be thinking, what maps are really comfortable for me? And we saw Ship-Shape Cargo Co. Tower Control being a really comfy map for them earlier, but honestly, I'd be fine with most of the Tower Control maps, and maybe not Inkblot, because we've seen Tame time and time again pick these weapons with Splash Wall, and that stuff is incredibly strong there. But instead deciding Crab Leg Capital Clam Blitz, not a map mode combination I've seen in a little while, but nonetheless, I actually kind of like this pick for them. You know what? Even if it might not be the best Luna map.
It's an interesting one. I feel like the hammer could do a lot right there. Retroma has the tools to push up that ramp, which they have the tools to push up that ramp. They have the tools to go across the grades. Yeah, honestly, what Retroma is doing is pretty nice for Crab Leg.
Yeah, something that Hyperstar's been playing a lot of ballpoint throughout the last few games, but we've got to remember Hyperstar's primarily a heavy edit nouveau player, and you know what the special is on heavy edit nouveau, right?
Yep.
Good old Crab Tank.
Crab?
So Crab on Crab Lake is a bit silly, isn't it?
And it's the special that everybody forgot for a while, thought, oh well, Crab is over. No, it's still one of the best specials in the game, by far, especially on these wide open maps where you have view of the whole map and where having the longest range and the shield in front of yourself allows you to simply take full control of the map.
Yeah, Crab Leg is a fantastic map for Crab. Who would have thought that the special and the map that share the name happen to be a fantastic pairing for each other, but both these teams opting to take quite a bit of time just to figure out exactly what it is that they want to try and do here, and we're finally going to see the fruition of those strategic talks. We do see a switch to the heavy edit nouveau from Hyperstar as Distinct returning to using that charcoal decapitator while keeping everything else the same. I like this.
Yeah, that charcoal is going to give them entry tools right there. Tame simply going forward in. He's going to get a trade right now. Acing, getting a pick with the Fizzy Bomb. That's a very nice one, but both teams still trying to fight for mid. We're still very much in the mid fight in the neutral, and we'll see who is able to come out on top as Mooj is trying to set themselves up on these grades that get denied. Retroma able to deny the space right now and have to contend with Tame. Getting one, getting two, and allowing all of this thing to keep control over mid right there.
Yeah, Tame using the boost of that inkjet to go over the hammer and then splat it instantly with a really nice indirect. They are going to be able to score a clam here, but this probably won't be that large of a push. Harry X is going to help pull, and Retroma are now saying, okay, we want to get control of mid. Like, you got a clam in, that was pretty cool. Now let's just try and get control of it. Unfortunately, seeming to be a little bit of miscommunication, two members are going to go down, a third will be taken out by Tiger here, and just like that's Distinct retaining control of this mid here. A really, really bad spot if you're in Retroma Paradise right now. You've got that crab and those strikes on standby, but you're not close to a cool, and that's really what you need to try and outpace Distinct in this moment. So see Mooj trying to set up on top of this grade. Acing is going to be able to find one pick onto Afro King there. Unfortunately, will also be taken down, I believe, by Tame. We've seen a lot of Acing versus Tame throughout these games, and it's been really interesting to watch. But speaking of being watched, Mooj watching a Hyperstar like a hawk, able to find a fantastic direct onto them there, as slowly but surely Distinct building up towards this next push.
Yeah, Distinct very much keeping control over the middle of the map. They have a lead, it's not enough. And with 3 minutes left in the game, I feel like Retroma still has lots of opportunities to push back in, but Distinct is very much doing their best to delay that over and over and over. And now Tame is going in, about to contest, but Crabtack is able to not get the lead control, actually. And that's going to be Jason now going in and trying to get the Splat onto Mouge. This is the opportunity for Distinct. With Mouge down, Distinct is able to take control of top right, and now preparing the clams, getting the super clam ready. All they need is a few specials, and they will be under the basket.
And they got their specials really close by. Jason and Hyperstar both really close to their specials. Hyperstar ready with that crab, decides to pop it on the top right. Jason incredibly close to strikes. Acing deciding to use the hammer to try and blaze a trail into the muscle, but Tame is going to be able to dispatch it. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to get to the power clam a little bit. Not quite what you want to see. A really nice clam play there. Jason throwing it to Hyperstar, who throws it into the basket. That's really strong clam play you don't see from teams even at the top level. But it's not going to be enough to get them the lead at the moment. Tame is just instantly going to be able to wipe Hyperstar off the map, as Acing, trying to get a couple more picks, is going to be taken down here, and Distinct are now going to start trying to fight in this mid. We see Afro just they're kind of getting close to their Zuka here. They're playing it rather patiently right now. We're seeing like Distinct earlier playing quite aggressively against the Albi lovers, but now they're moving up into mid a little bit more. They're getting punished by the members of Patrol of Paradise, but Tame able to win that 1v1. It's still causing a lot of chaos so far, as neither team seems to really sure what to do right now.
Yep, and right now it looks like we're 2 down onto Distinct. Mouge has to move back, give some ground to Retroma. I mean, that first push that they got, that was a 19-point push. Now they need to get 2 extra points. As long as they're able to open that basket, that's all they need with 30 seconds left into this game. Distinct still defending as hard as they can, stopping any push from away, and Retroma still waiting to find their way in.
Yeah, Retroma's still trying to find their way in. They've got Crab and Strikes ready to go. Okay, on to Jason. The Crab is going to find one, might be able to find a second here. Unfortunately, isn't quite going to be enough to take damage. They do still have that pity. All they need to do is get that pity in the basket right now, but it's going to be Hyperstar trying to run this basket, but unfortunately, almost picking off Tame, but the power club's still in a really precarious position. It is just Harry XYZ right now. They're not going to be able to get to that in time, and just like that, Distinct have match point.
I mean, Retroma, they had good moves on their push, but it just didn't connect. And when in your push you scored 19 points, you don't get the lead, you lose your pity clam, and you give a pity clam for free to your opponent, you're in trouble. You're very much in trouble. Distinct now is up 2-0, and Retroma facing the same wall they faced every Splat pursuit. Now it's do or die. Now it's their final shot at it. They are down 2 games. And we'll see what their counter pick is. We'll see what they're able to go with. I guess now we go to tower control. I can't picture Retroma picking anything but tower ship shape right there. They need to do what they can. The map, that's a map where they've shown their best coordination, where they've shown all that they can do. Distinct though, they've shown that they're ready for what Retroma is cooking. They've shown how well they can do, and right now Distinct looks like they're just ahead of Retroma Paradise, even if it's just by 1 point. They've stayed on top of the game. They had a lot of control during that game. Now, and here comes the counter pick, ship shape, tower control. It's the one Retroma needs to win on now, and it's the one Retroma needs to set themselves into momentum to go forward now. It's do or die. This could be the final game that we have before Splat Legacy, so be ready for it.
Yeah, Shipshape Cargo Code Tower Control. This is the Retroma Paradise map. If you want to start a reverse sweep, this would be the map to do it on. I'm not obviously picking Tower Control when it's your best map, like as the first potential win, might be a little bit risky in the long run. But when you're 2 games down and with everything left to play for, that's what you need to do. And we're jumping straight into a Game 3 match point for Distinct on Tower Control, Shipshape Cargo Code.
Yep. Here we go. Same comps coming in. Tame is back to the 52. Gal, other than that, it's what we'd expect. Oh, and Hyper is back to the ballpoint. I guess we still want to see some jetpacks on that front. And now we're back to that fight. Oh, ooh, an early pick onto Mouge. Good spell. A very nice first opening by Retroma right there. Jason on top of the tower is going to keep slushing around. Tame needs to move back and give the ground. Retroma Paradise taking first control. They're already at the checkpoint.
Yeah, Retroma Paradise was really nice opening from them. They're able to secure this first checkpoint. There's the members of Distinct Guild going down, Mouge and Afro King, both being taken out here. Not what you want to see. Your long range weapon and your Zuka being taken out before the second checkpoint. They will probably be able to get it in time. Unfortunately, Hypersub Eject being taken down at a really bad moment there. As it's just 2v2, Bubble comes out from the Roller. Roller really wants to try and break this second one. They are able to break the checkpoint. It's Harry XYZ like hanging on for dear life right now in the enemy side. He's going to be able to jump out really fantastic from them, able to break that checkpoint and just ensure that the members of Retroma Paradise don't have to put as much work in if they want to try and win this match. We see the members of the 6 stacking on this top right. Unfortunately, Acing not quite able to get them before Tiger takes them out. But Retroma Paradise, they do have Inkjet ready. It is just Mouge left or right right now. Harry XYZ dancing around this tower, trying to avoid the chip from Mouge. Is going to be able to start securing more points. Hyperstar pushing incredibly aggressively, using his Inkjet. Like a fantastic pick onto Mouge. Members of Distinct going down left and right. It's Acing and Hyperstar right now. It is just Afro King is able to take out Acing. Might be able to take out Hyperstar. It's been able to take out Hyperstar, but that will not be enough as Harry XYZ putting Retroma Paradise on the scoreboard. We have a set on our hands here, Pat.
Yes. I mean, you called it. This is the Retroma. This is the Retroma map. This is the map mode where Retroma plays their best, where they have all the coordination, where everything aligns itself for them. And everything worked perfectly for Retroma Paradise right there. There was constantly the pick that they needed to keep pushing over and over and over. That break of the second checkpoint, simply dancing on the tower just to delay it, and then acing with a hammer, getting a few more picks, allowing the team to jump back in and is the Retroma Paradise that can beat this team. But now they need to bring that energy, that speed, that coordination to Distinct's counter pick. I mean, Distinct, they need to take Retroma Paradise seriously now. But Retroma Paradise, they have a point on the board and they can be pretty proud of it.
Yeah, Retroma Paradise securing their first victory in this set. They need to get 2 more if they want to win, compared to the 1 win that Distinct needs. But the ball is very much in Distinct's court right now, as it's up to them to pick a map. If you pick up like Tower Control after that, you'll probably it'll go into a game 5, like 100%. The way Retroma Paradise was playing there, so clinical, so smooth. Their entire strategy just gelled together exactly when it needed to in order for them to secure their first win. But Distinct's only other option, if they don't want to play on Tower, they have to play on Rainmaker, which we've seen Retroma Paradise actually be do quite well. Like we've seen Retroma do quite well on before, but Distinct have decided to play it very risky here. They've decided to go for Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy, a strong map for both of these teams. No matter how different they may be, some things are the same, and
in and get the picks, who is going to be punished. Both of these teams have to pay attention, have to be ready for what's about to happen. We'll see how these teams are able to do right there, going on to Ingbot. And I mean, another tower control, Retroma likes that, but these teams have shown how good, how powerful they and the win in semifinals. So we'll see how things go, Spol. We'll see. But right now, Retroma have to win again on tower control.
Speaking of things that we will see, I believe that we will be seeing a return to the 52 gal from Tame. Sorry, there have been Discord has been a little bit funny for us. Throughout today. But speaking of things that have been pretty funny not pretty funny. Speaking of things that we'll be seeing. I reckon we'll be seeing Tame returning to that 52 gal, really strong weapon, not only on TC Inkblot Art Academy, but against the composition of Retroma Paradise. You know, both of the aggro weapons that Retroma have, that Slosher and that Luna, neither of them really want to be dealing with 52 in a vacuum. Of course, Retroma Paradise only opting for one shooter, and that one shooter is a Zap, which is their cooler weapon. They need that thing to stay alive, and if you're fighting a 52 as a Zap, like, you're probably not gonna live.
It's going to be a rough one, and honestly, these teams have shown how powerful they can fight, how well they can do. I'm just looking forward to see the games, to see what these teams bring. This is again do or die for Retroma, but I mean, going on to tower control still has to worry me a little bit for Distinct after the beatdown that they just took onto the tower. You know what Retroma can do once they have the momentum, once they're on the tower with a few players up, they keep going in again and again. This team will need to find a way to stop that momentum in its track.
Yeah, Distinct need to find a way to stop that momentum. I think 52 gal, if they decide to opt for him, would be a fantastic way to do that. Not only shutting down the members of Retroma, but enabling so much with Distinct. Not only because 52 is a strong weapon against Retroma Paradise, but because, as we've seen throughout this tournament, and throughout this tournament series, actually, when you put Tame on a shooter, and you put them with Afro King, they are an absolutely blistering duo to deal with.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you see one, you know the other one is probably perpendicular to where your exact location is, and you know you will be splatted in a matter of milliseconds. But it is Inkblot Art Academy tower control. Like Retroma Paradise, we've been talking a lot about what Distinct might be able to do to beat Retroma on this stage, but Retroma have plenty of ways to deal with Distinct as well. Crucially, Acing will be probably using that hammer a lot to try and secure the bats. So we see the ballpoint being stuck with by a Hyperstar, and we do in fact see the 52 gal from Tame. Can Retroma defeat this this version of Distinct and go to game 5? Let's find out.
Yep, right now here comes the opening. Both teams sending their players forward. Afro already sharking in, trying to get there. Is going to get the early splat onto Perry. There's going to be no cooler for Retroma right there in that opening, and Afro knows that Afro is going in, is getting splat after splat, forcing another one onto the bucket, and it's not stopping the Zuka. Simply to say, in position, very nice first push by Distinct, already getting to checkpoint number 2 as Retroma is finally ending things thanks to the jetpack.
Yeah, really fantastic jetpack from Hyperstar there, getting 2 picks and snuffing Distinct's push out in its tracks. Unfortunately, AC is going to get a little bit overzealous, and we see Afro King getting pick after pick. I mean, that opening was explosive enough, but I think Afro King is turning up the heat to something absolutely diabolically hot right now. As slowly but surely, Retroma Paradise will nice bomb kill onto Tiger. They're going to be able to push this tower, but Hyperstar being taken out once again. I believe that was moved. In fact, Tame is also flanking them right now. Yeah. It's going to cause some real headaches, as we mentioned earlier. 52 gal, not really a weapon that any of the weapons on Retroma Paradise really want to be dealing with in this moment, as Tame is quite content to just chill on this right stack hit, just trying to be annoying, waiting for the members of Retroma to panic run into the rest of the team. Unfortunately, not going to be slick enough. That will be taken out by Jason as Tiger getting a hammer to the face along with Afro King. And this should be the start of the Retroma Paradise 1. Ooh.
Acing getting that Splat obtained. That means Acing is now on the platform, getting a trade right there. Retroma is past the first checkpoint, on their way to flip the lead right now. Afro defending that platform, denying the push. The two teams are within each other's reach as Harry is back onto the tower, getting the lead and getting to the second checkpoint. Hyper's jetpack is so key right there, but not able to find Rouge. They have to move away. They will not get the second checkpoint and they have to regroup back into their score.
At least they made it all the way to that second checkpoint. 59 to 53. Not much difference between these two teams as we reach the halfway point. Acing getting a nice pick on the right hand. Gets to find a second, I believe, on that right stack as the bubble being used by Tiger. Unfortunately, Acing's quite by Tiger is they're gonna not gonna be able to find another pick beyond that, but right now, if you're Retroma, you're in a pretty good spot. Like, the members of Distinct are just running around all over the place trying to find his picks. Afro, once again, trying to catch Harry XYZ on the plat as they did earlier in this match. This time using Zuka is going to be able to find it onto Harry XYZ. That'll be no cooler for Retroma Paradise as Distinct approaches the checkpoint, but Acing is going to deny Afro King from getting any more funny business done for the time being as they get another beautiful pick onto Mooj.
Yeah, that pick onto Mooj is going to end the push right there. Retroma bringing the tower back into the middle. Neither team has broken the second checkpoint of this map for right now. With a minute and a half left, it looks like Retroma's tiny lead is still winning. Acing grabbing the schooler right before getting splatted by Afro. Afro was still wanting some more blood right there, and Afro has been on a rampage this whole game, trying to get a bit more. He's not going to find anything with the Zuka this time, and not able to get onto the platform as well. Very nice defense by Retroman right now.
Yeah, once again, Acing on this left side of the plat is going to be able to find the pick onto Afro, preventing them from getting the control that they need to push this tower that little bit further to get the lead. But it is a 3v3 situation right now. Harry XYZ is not going to cool it for a little while. He was the one to go down. His bubble is popped on this tower. Acing is going to be able to find a trade onto Afro King as this Mooj on the tower right now. It's just Harry XYZ alive. The rest of the members of the team are able to secure the lead. They're going to be able to get this second checkpoint. Two members of Retroma are alive. They're staggering themselves incredibly hard right now. It is Jason is but you need those strikes to be able to stop this tower right now. As Harry, as Afro King will be taken out here. It is just 10. Fantastic pick onto Acing. It is a 2v4 situation right now. Tame, unfortunately, not going to be able to find a pick onto Hyperstar, but the tower is still moving. 5, 4, 3, 2 points. It is just Mooj left alive right now. Unfortunately, not going to be able to push it any further. They are hanging on for dear life. Unfortunately, will be taken out by Acing. 10 seconds left to go. Retroma Paradise needs to knock out, and they need to start putting things together to get that knockout right now if they want a chance of winning this game.
Retroma Paradise cannot do a single mistake right now. They need everything to work, and that first Splat onto Acing is going to spell disaster. Mooj simply firing the weapons at the tower. Jason is called out, able to get the pick onto Tame, but has to drop away, is away from the tower. Harry is dancing as much as he can on it, activating the cooler for respawn, but that is too late. Distinct are qualified to Splat Legacy.
Yeah, tower, picking tower control against Retroma Paradise and winning. That is the statement that Distinct has just made, and that's the statement that they will be making when they enter the venue in Basingstoke on November 16th alongside Yours Mammothly, Chewit Sparking Flavor, and Infrared. What a way to qualify for this tournament, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, Distinct, they've been in every finals of Splat Pursuit. They've been trying over and over. Finally, it's their day, it's their time, and it is their spot. Very well deserved. Retroma Paradise able to take the game, and
still a bit more work to do. They will not make it to Splat Legacy. Sorry for you, but yeah, Distinct, very, very nice victory today.
Yeah, really a nice victory from them. We saw first we saw them in groups round 2 earlier, right, where they played against Grog for the first time, and Grog absolutely wiped the floor with them. It wasn't the Distinct that we were used to seeing, the Distinct that was like so confidently getting all the way to semis and then having the unfortunate luck of playing against whoever would go on to win the tournament. But this time, they picked themselves up. They went, okay, we've lost to Grog. You know what? That's absolutely fine. We can turn this into something great. And they've turned it into a qualifications. They've turned it into something truly amazing here, being qualified for Splat Legacy.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you watching the stream, we're going to be going to an interview fairly soon with the winning team Distinct. We'll finally get to speak to them after seeing them in all 3 of these Splat pursuits. But after that, we'll be able to finally spill the details on more information related to Splat Legacy. So stay tuned for that.
Yep.
But until then, Pat, do you want to? Do you have any closing words for us?
Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. We'll see you at Splat Legacy very soon.
Yeah. See you at Legacy, guys.
And hello everyone and welcome to the after show of the final Splat Legacy qualifier. I am Crystal, your interviewer for today, and I am ever so wonderfully joined by the winners and our final qualifying team for Legacy Distinct. So first of all, congratulations you guys, your second place curse has finally been broken. I'm sure the chat and the fans are really happy to see that, as it's been a long journey for you guys ever since playing that first qualifier. But I'm gonna ask you guys some questions individually to just kind of see how you guys feel. So, Afro, I will start with you. So obviously getting second place in all the qualifiers so far has obviously probably been a little bit disheartening, but how do you feel after finally winning this qualifier and getting your ticket to Legacy?
I'm very, very happy. I wasn't sure we were going to be able to do it. Several points today, and I'm very glad that we pulled through and did it. And I'm looking forward to meeting the team in Basingstoke.
Hell yeah. And Mooch, my next question is for you. Your weapon pick is one of the kind of more out there ones that we've seen in this tournament, as Bow is honestly really not picked that much at the moment. But what kind of draws you to this weapon and makes you choose it over maybe other meta backlines?
I just really like it. It's really fun. I love how it feels like it can do a lot of different things, even if it's not as strong as others. It's like quite flexible, and it's really fun to just see all the like hundreds of hours pay off with like a really hard weapon. It's just a satisfying weapon to play, and I like being a bit of an underdog in that way.
Definitely, yeah. And then Sal, my next question is for you. Also a bit about the team comp and the weapon picks. But you guys are currently running a coolerless comp at the moment, which in today's meta, and by today's meta, I mean the majority of the meta in the entire game, is kind of a bit unseen at the moment, even though we did see two teams run coolerless in this tournament.
Yeah.
But how do you kind of feel about you going up against three other teams with, I'd say more standard meta comps, but then you guys kind of having something a bit more out there? How do you think that's going to go?
Honestly, one thing I love about our team is that we can typically handle things like that very, very well. We know their comps in and out. We've practiced a million scrims against them. I think we're quite good against teams like that. And for us, coolerless works. He doesn't use cooler. I don't use cooler. Afro, he lives. He's like really good without cooler as well. And he plays around us very, very well. He's not like a typical shot in a way. He flexes his gameplay around us, and he's awesome. He can be a bit sportive if we need him to. He can be aggro if we need him to. Tame as well is actually a former member, so he's played with us a lot, and he's one of our official subs. So he's also got the right playstyle around us. So we're quite solid and we're well communicated. So that helps us against like teams that probably, play more meta weapons, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And then Tame, my last question goes to you. Obviously subbing in for the team for this qualifier and them finally getting their win. How does it feel to kind of see and help your friends and your teammates finally get the victory?
It's awesome because the first qualifier we lost, we came second. We were quite down about it. The second qualifier came around, we got second again, but it was like, hey, that's better. It didn't feel as bad. And then going into this third qualifier, it was like, yeah, we're gonna go get this. We're gonna win this. We're gonna win this. And the win, it's hype. It was awesome. Finally being able to break through and win it.
Hell yeah. Well, that is all I have questions-wise for you guys, but I will go down the line and let you guys give any shout-outs or any kind of plugs you want to give. So, Afro, I'll start with you.
Well, thank you to everyone in the Distinct server who's watching us this morning. And Hero Shot is the best skin.
Oh my god, you will die on that hill.
Mood, you're next.
Distinct SPL on Twitter. Go follow us. We're gonna keep pushing our silly comps. Yeah, that's it.
Sal, you're next.
I want to say the big swig Rapid Blaster comp might happen one day. We'll work on it. We might do it once.
Coming back. It's coming back.
I just wanted to thank all of my teammates as well. You guys are spectacular. We put all the practice in, and you're always there bending the rules and bending the rules of reality just to make it practice. And we work very well together. I also just wanted to say Mooj is probably one of the best bows I've ever seen, if not the best. He puts so much time into one tricking bow, and it's amazing to see like just how far he's come. So I'm proud of you, especially. Tim's okay, I guess.
Thanks.
I love you. I love you.
What do you mean?
I love you.
Well, Tim, do you have any final words as well?
I suppose big shout out to Retroma, actually. They're the team we face every pursuit. And it's always been really fun and very close fighting them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very close.
I want to be screen partners with them.
They were our biggest warriors going into this tournament.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Distinct, for this interview, and finally, congratulations for getting your well-deserved victory and your tickets to Basingstoke for Splat Legacy. And now, I have some exciting news for everyone in chat and everyone watching about Splat Legacy itself. So, we finally have some, we obviously had our dates before, November 16th and 17th, but I can reveal that the location of Splat Legacy will be at Queen Mary's College Central Studio in Basingstoke, like we said. Spectators will be able to watch an intense top 4 finals games over on Saturday and Sunday, but there will also be additional activities like salmon run challenges, exhibition matches, and more, which will all be held over the weekend. The tickets for Splat Legacy will go live next Friday, the 27th of September at 6 p.m. BST. The event site and more details about the event will be live very shortly. But with our 4 teams now, we have Chewits Mafia Sparking Flavor, Infrared, Yours Mammothly, and Distinct as your top 4 going head-to-head for the grand win at Splat Legacy on the 16th and 17th of November 2024. You don't want to miss it, but this is quite sad. This has been my final interview segment of Splat Pursuit. So for the last time, I have been Crystal, your host for the end show of all of the Splat Pursuit qualifiers. You can find me on Twitter at Crystal___ and on Twitter at Crystal_. Thank you so much for having me as your host and your interviewer. Thank you everyone for watching all 3 of the qualifiers, and a big congratulations to our top 4 teams, Chewits Mafia Sparking Flavor, Infrared, Yours Mammothly, and Distinct for making their way to Basingstoke. Thank you so much for watching everyone, and we will see you in Basingstoke on November 16th and 17th.